On day 1, I spawned in as a cursed dragon. I was somewhere inside of a large, evil castle with a witch standing in front of me.
At last, I have created the Cursed Dragon! You will help me curse the entire world.
Curse the world?
Yes. Creatures like you and I have been shunned by Minecraft. They must pay for this.
The witch commanded me to fly off and use my powers to spread the curse. I took off and headed towards some houses. I was worried about a fight because I only had 3 hearts, but I knew I had to try. There was a group of players standing right in front of me.
A cursed skeleton dragon? Ah!
They took out their swords and started to charge me. Ah, please no! I suddenly used my dragon breath, and it converted all of them into ghoulish monsters. Whoa, that's awesome. I'm far more powerful than I look. Spreading this curse is gonna be a ton of fun. On day 2, I arrived at a large kingdom with my cursed mobs by my side. We entered and started to spread our curse to all the villagers.
The legend of the cursed dragon is true! The witch has returned!
I blasted them with my cursed breath and started infecting the other mobs with it as well. After cursing them, I suddenly gained 5 more hearts. It looked like the more people I cursed, the stronger I became. I decided to venture throughout the rest of the kingdom. I was able to find some cobblestone and wood, as well as some food. I started to command my newly acquired army to follow me. While I was flying off, I spotted a small rat running from the kingdom. Anyways, I have bigger things to curse than that little guy. As my army traveled away from the kingdom, we came across a large open area. This seems perfect for my base of operations. I dropped the material to some of the cursed creatures, and they got to work constructing me a base. Another group of creatures went out and defeated some sheep for wool. They then returned to me with a bed. Once my base was finished, I commanded my army to go into the world and curse more of it for me. This is incredible. I already have a base and an army? Man, I placed my bed down and began to feel tired. Ugh.
One day, son, you'll defend these lands just like I do. I just know it.
Dad? Ugh. Who was that? Are there more dragons out there? Man, I have to go and see the witch about this. On day 4, I returned to the witch's lair, and there were cages full of prisoners.
Bozo, just in time. I need you to curse these creatures for me now!
Of course. I immediately blasted all of the cages with my breath and cursed them. After cursing the prisoners, the witch grew a little in size. The witch was happy with the progress that I've made and rewarded me with a set of bone tools. Tools? What am I gonna need this for? The witch told me to go off and retrieve an item for her, and in return, she will share more of her power with me. Sounds like a plan. On day 5, I was traveling toward the location the witch had given me. She mentioned a very specific black and red urn I would have to collect. Along my travels, I spotted my cursed army attacking a castle. It made me so proud to know that my army was still hard at work. Suddenly, a rat came rushing towards me from the castle. Wait a minute, was that the same rat? These guys seem to be all over the world. Hey, stop!
Now why would I do that,
The
huh?
rat told me that he just left one kingdom and now was forced out of this one by a bunch of undead ghouls.
Name's Buster. Everywhere I go, people just don't want me around. What did I ever do to anybody, man? I'm just trying to live a life.
I thought about using my breath to curse him, but I decided against it. He was an outcast, just like me and the witch, so I felt a connection with him. Listen, here's the coordinates to my base. You can stay there. Buster thanked me and set off toward my home. I continued on my journey and eventually came across a large structure. This must be the place that the witch told me about. On day 6, I entered the structure, and there were some kind of strange-looking villagers inside. They had guns and began to attack me. I blasted the creatures with my cursed breath, but it had no effect on them. Huh? Was this what the witch was talking about? I took out the bone sword the witch had given me and began to fight back against them.
We defeated the curse once. We will do it again.
Ah! Stop it! If I can't change you, then you must be destroyed. I started dodging the creatures' attacks and managed to defeat all of them. I then started to feel strange, and suddenly I grew into a full-size dragon, and I noticed that I had 20 hearts. But then I began to feel sick and
Hide, now!
Dad, what's going on?
You will never get away with this.
Dad! bad. What are these memories I'm having? I don't have time for this right now. I need to get that item. I found the urn and picked it up. Awesome. I hope the witch is pleased with my accomplishment. I flew away from this place. I wonder who those people were and what they wanted. Man, that's for another day though. On day 7, I returned back to my base and saw Buster was fighting with one of the cursed mobs that was there.
Hey, buddy, I didn't take anything away from you, all right? Get away!
Whoa. Break it up, guys. I separated the two of them, and the cursed creature walked away. I decided since he was there, I needed to make a place for him to stay. We got to work constructing a house for him. Once we finished, I realized because of my size, I wasn't going to be able to fit in my own house now. The two of us continued to build my base to fit my new size. Afterwards, I knew Buster was going to need to eat something. I got to work collecting seeds and created a small farm for him. Buster then said,
Here, Fozo. I lied. I took this from him.
he dropped me a cursed helmet. Hey, thanks. This is gonna come in handy, but maybe don't lie, all right? I realized that this guy wasn't that bad after all. I told him that I had to go see the witch and deliver her an item that I went out to get her.
Witch, you say? How do you know that you can trust her? Witches are people that you can't really trust that often.
No, I told him that we worked together and she brought me into this world. I had no reason to think otherwise. Buster just nodded his head, but I decided to ignore it. I headed off toward the witch. On day 8, I made it to one of the witch's new hideouts, and she was waiting for me. Whoa, she's definitely getting larger. She told me that now 1/4 of the world has been cursed. We're that much closer to cursing the entire world.
It seems you've gotten bigger as well. Do you have the item I requested?
Yes, I do. I gave her the urn, and in return, she cast a spell and gave me a new ability. I wonder why she wanted that urn and why it appeared as though those people were guarding it. I didn't have time to ask questions because the witch told me to test out my new ability. I jumped in the air, and when I landed, I sent out a cursed shockwave in all directions. Wow, this is so strong.
Yes. And soon you'll be the most powerful mob in the world.
I then asked the witch about the memories I thought I was acquiring. She told me that I need to do one more thing for her, but it's going to be much more difficult.
I will tell you what you want to hear once you do this for me.
On days 9 to 10, I made my way into the jungle like the witch had instructed me to do. What was I looking for? I came to a clearing when I heard a loud roar behind me. I turned to see a large jungle beast emerge. The cat started to charge at me, and I stood my ground using my breath to curse it. It didn't seem to work, and the beast hit me really hard, taking away some of my heart. I started to fight at him close range to weaken him while trying to avoid his attacks. I jumped in the air and used my new shockwave ability to weaken him. I used my breath on the beast again, and yes, the beast transformed into a large black cursed beast. I told the beast to link up with the rest of my army. As he headed off, I realized that although I felt like the strongest monster, I was far from it. I was going to need to get some serious upgrades if I wanted to lead this army correctly and fast. On days 11 to 12, I went inside of a cave and started to look for iron to finish my armor set. I continued deeper inside and eventually found some iron. Once I collected it all, I smelted it and used it to create an iron set of pants and boots. This should be much stronger now. I made my way out of the cave and suddenly got ambushed by the strange villager hunters I'd seen earlier.
Kill the dragon for the resistance!
Do you really think you guys stand a chance against me now? I started to fight them with my tools until I realized, oh no, there's too many of them. I blasted the hunters with my cursed breath and was actually able to convert most of them to my army. One of the hunters managed to avoid the attacks and said,
Stupid dragon, do you really think that bad breath of yours is helping the world?
I don't care what you think. You have shunned people like me from this world for too long. This was the right thing, right? All these people deserve the curse for how they treated us. I need to find out who these people are and what exactly is going on. I flew toward the witch, wondering if what I did was right. I returned to the witch's hideout, still thinking about the events of the previous day. Who are those people?
Fozo, so good of you to return. Did you complete the task that I had given you?
Yes, I converted the beast, but there's still something far more troubling. The witch told me that she was proud, but wanted to know what bothered me. I told her about my encounter with these strange hunters and their accusations against us. I asked if cursing everyone was the right thing to do.
Of course it's right. right. Those monsters are responsible for so many of our people, including your parents.
My parents? The witch told me the resistance hunted down my parents and ended them for being so different. I was filled with so much rage. Where are they? They must be destroyed. The witch told me that their base was a castle not far from here.
Now go, Fozo. Destroy the resistance and avenge your parents.
I won't fail you. I flew out of the base, ready to destroy everything in my path. On days 15 to 16, I made it to the castle the witch mentioned. As I landed inside of it, the people started running around in a frenzy. The curse is back! We're all doomed! Who are these people? I needed to get some answers. Aren't you guys responsible for the death of the dragons? The citizens still ran from me, and I was frustrated. I managed to catch one of the citizens. You guys are the ones responsible for killing my people.
No! We had nothing to do with the disappearance of dragons!
He explained that dragons were sacred to their people. I wasn't sure if I believed him, but he told me that there was an ancient library that could confirm what he was saying. He also told me that there's other information about the curse. The curse? I remembered all the people I'd seen screaming about the curse returning.
Yes, don't you know how much your curse is destroying the world?
I flew off toward the library. One thing's for certain, I need to know the truth. I had been flying for a while when I spotted my army. I noticed that they had grown in size since the last time I saw it. Wow, you guys have been busy. Because of my cursed breath, more creatures have joined the witch's army. If I kept spreading the curse, our army would be unstoppable. One of the soldiers in the army approached me.
So, where should we go next?
If I took them to the library with me, it would be a hassle. I couldn't just let them go around and attack more people until I had my answers. I flew over to the army and issued a command. Cursed army, return to the witch and await for further orders. The army obeyed me and made their way back to the witch. Good. I flew off from the army and landed in front of the library. Now I can finally get some answers.
You there? What are you doing back here? And where is Fozo?
The dragon has ordered us to return here while he ventured elsewhere.
What are you up to, Fozo?
On days 19 to 20, I made my way throughout the library looking for answers. I kept looking around and found a book. It was about the witch. I read the book and found out that the witch was so curious about magic and spells and decided to experiment on all the villagers, some of which helped, while others seemed to have drastic results. She refused to stop her work, and as her ambition grew, the villagers had no choice but to banish her from the village. Before she left, the witch vowed to curse everyone who has wronged her. The book also told me that the witch continued her experiments and made enemies with other creatures, like dragons. Dragons? I tried to read more of the book, but it didn't have any more value. If she was enemies with the dragons, why would she create me? I knew something was off, but I wasn't sure who I could believe. I had to talk to Buster and see if he could help me. I flew off back towards my base. On days 21 to 23, I flew back, and Buster was there waiting for me. He had a strange look on his face. What is it? Do you have something to tell me?
Yeah, while you were gone, I know how much you liked your armor, so I gathered this from more of those boneheads over there.
Buster dropped me the rest of the cursed armor set. Thank you. I really appreciate what you've done for me. He could tell that I was down and asked me what was going on. I caught him up on the information I'd found at the library. So she was expelled from the village for her less than conventional practices. I don't know what to believe.
I tried to warn you, but you didn't want to listen to me, man.
He continued to say that rumors of the cursed witch had been heard all around the world before I even showed up.
It seems as though the rumors are now confirmed, man.
How could I have been deceived by this? I was tricked into spreading this witch's curse, and it was never about me, but rather her own selfish wants. I flew off to confront her. This ends now. On days 24 to 26, I returned to the witch's hideout. It appears as though the cursed army was not here. Where could they have gone? Witch, what in the world is this curse that you've been spreading all over the world? Isn't this curse the reason you got banished from that village?
How dare you look into my past? You had no right.
I have no right. You're the one that's been lying to me. This curse isn't helping anyone. You need to stop all of this right now.
Stop. I'm just getting getting started.
The witch blasted me and sent me flying through the air. I guess I have no choice but to take you down. I blasted her with my cursed breath, but it had no effect. The witch laughed and hit me with a stronger spell. Ah, she's so strong.
You foolish dragon. No one will stop me from cursing this world. Not even you.
I needed to escape. I used the rest of my strength and flew away before she could deal any more damage to me. I couldn't fly anymore and crash landed into the ground. I felt so weak. Ugh.
You will never win as long as my son exists.
I have a plan for that.
Dad!
Come, dragon. I have big plans for you.
On days 27 to 29, I woke up and realized that witch was responsible all along for the death of my family. I noticed that in my fight, I lost some of my hearts. I only have 10 now. I had doomed the world by spreading this curse and strengthening all of her powers. What had I done? There were screams in the distance, and I rushed towards them. I came across a large village that was under attack from my cursed army. I commanded the army to stand down and stop attacking it. They looked at me and refused to listen. I noticed they were turning all of the villagers into cursed skeletons. I landed and tried to defend the villagers using my abilities. I realized not only had the witch taken away some of my hearts, but also I didn't have any of my cursed powers now. I had to fight the army using my weapons, but they were not very effective. I flew into the air and spotted skeleton villagers. Why are you helping us? I told them I'd seen the errors in my way and wanted to help him out. I asked the villager to follow me back to my base and he would be safe. The villager agreed and hopped on my back as we flew off. I returned to base with the villager and noticed that something looked different. There was a group of skeleton cows here. Buster approached me and said they had wandered by while we were gone, and he built them a place to stay. I thanked them for giving the creatures shelter and told them that we had more work to do. We got to work building a place for the villager to stay in. He was grateful for me sheltering him at my base. Once we finished building, I started to talk to Buster about what could be done to fight back against the curse. He told me in the past there was a resistance that formed together to defeat it.
Last time I heard, they had some kind of like headquarters, but these are just rumors, dude. I don't know if they're true.
Without any other leads, this seemed like my best bet to set things straight. I headed off toward the old headquarters.
Rise from the ash and be born again, Zilla.
What is thy bidding?
There is a dragon I want you to kill.
On days 33 to 35, I was traveling toward the location of the old Resistance headquarters when I came to a thick forest. I began to travel on foot to make it easier to spot anything, but all of a sudden, I started to hear rustling in the trees nearby.
Time for you to be ended, dragon!
I was surrounded by members of the Resistance. I had seen these people before. Wait, stop! I told the Resistance members that I wanted to help. I was tricked by the witch and need to make things right. The Resistance members told me that they didn't believe me, but noticed I was far weaker. They decided to take me to their leader. They led me to a massive base with a large interior. Standing before me was the leader of the Resistance, who introduced himself as Marky. I told him I wanted to help and defeat the witch. She killed my family.
If what you're saying is true, I will give you a chance to prove yourself through actions.
He told me that when they had defeated the witch in the past, she was not nearly as powerful as I made her now. There has to be something that we can do. I refuse to believe that what I'd done was irreversible.
There is something you can do for us. Go and retrieve our magical scroll.
Marquis explained to me where I could find the temple containing one of the most powerful pieces of magic that had ever been created. I thanked him for the opportunity and headed off. On days 36 to 38, as I made my way towards the temple, I heard something calling my name. What was that? I landed and spotted a giant, monstrous-looking creature.
So you're the dragon the witch has told me about.
Witch? She must have summoned him here just like me. The demon told me that he was on a mission to destroy me and continue to spread the curse. The monster immediately attacked and tried to bite me. I tried to fight back against him, but I dealt no damage. I realized my cursed tools seemed to have no effect on him. He attacked me again, and I noticed that I was taking even more damage as well. I was down to 1 heart and knew I wouldn't last any longer, so I had no choice but to fly off and escape.
Run away all you want. Soon, you will meet your demise.
Man, I need to get some new gear if I want to survive in this cursed world. I made it away from the creature and landed near a cave. I knew I was going to need to get rid of these cursed tools if I wanted to fight back. I used the tools to gather iron and created a set of iron tools. Afterwards, I created a chest plate and tried to equip it. To my surprise, I wasn't able to put it on. What's going on? I tried to take my cursed armor off, but it seemed to be bound to me. Great. I'm stuck with this stuff now. I couldn't think about it. I had a mission to complete. I made my way to the ancient temple Marky had told me about. Once I entered, I was entrapped in a magical cage.
The curse shall never be able to enter.
Ouch! What was that? I realized I was starting to get hurt. What was this place? The voice spoke again.
Prove your worth.
I was starting to rapidly lose hearts. I didn't have much time. I spoke to the voice, and I told them I now know how wrong I was to spread the witch's curse. As I finished speaking, the cage vanished and turned around to see a pedestal with a strange item on top of it. I collected it, and yes, it was exactly what I was looking for. I headed off from the temple. On days 42 to 44, I returned to base and found Buster. I showed him the scroll and told them about the powers it possessed.
Wait, you can save curses now? Prove it!
The rat and I went to the cow pens, and I used it on the skeletal cows. Immediately, the cows turned back to normal. It works. It really works. We walked around the base, and we both discussed the possibility that this scroll could restore everyone that's been cursed.
Why don't we try using it on one of those villages, huh?
That's a great idea. We visited the cursed villager, and I tried to use the scroll on him. Sadly, it didn't cure him, and I felt bummed out about it. The rat told me not to worry because there's still hope thanks to this cloth. I knew he was right, but I was still upset that I couldn't save everyone right now. The villager approached me and said, I really am missing my family. I felt his pain. I was missing the family the witch had taken away from me too. I told him to come with me, and I would look for them with him. We flew off together. On days 45 to 47, the villager and I flew across the land and eventually came across another village. He told me that despite the curse, he hoped his family still lived here. We searched the village and were able to find them. The villager ran towards his family, and I can tell that they missed each other. As I watched the family, I really started to grow sad thinking about my own. How many families had I separated by spreading this curse? I knew what I had to do. I needed to remove this curse from the world to protect families like theirs. I told the family to return to my base. It was safer there. After I watched them leave, I flew over to meet with Marky to show him I'd proven myself and obtained the scroll. I showed him the scroll, and he was impressed to see that I was able to beat the protectors. He was starting to come around.
I don't know much about dragons, but I do know someone who does.
I knew we had to work faster though, so I asked him if he knew any way I could cure myself of the curse and restore more people. Marky dropped me a map and told me hopefully I could find the answers I'm looking for there. I thanked him for helping me.
No, thank you, Fozo. We can't do this without you.
I flew off following the map. While I heard screams of villagers. I noticed that there was a huge army of cursed soldiers being led by the witch. They were attacking a city. I told her she was wrong, and I had to find a way to stop her now.
You do know that scroll isn't going to do anything.
How did she know about the scroll? She told me that she already knew about my plans and that they were futile.
It's too late, Bozo. Soon this world will be completely cursed.
If you think I'm gonna let you have your way, then you've got another thing. Ah! The witch immediately shot me with a spell. She was getting stronger, and I had to leave now.
You won't get away with this. I already have. The witch will be pleased.
On days 51 and 53, I arrived at the location that the map had directed me to. It was a massive temple. What did Marky want me to find here? I headed inside, but the place looked totally abandoned. Is anyone here?
Another dragon?
I turned around to see a large dragon standing behind me. Who are you?
My name is Alden. I feared I was the last of our kind. Long ago, the witch hunted us down. Dragons hold the balance of this world, and she feared we would be able to stop her curse.
I told them how she tricked me, but I was working for the Resistance and wanted to help. I already had the scroll, but it wasn't effective. I needed more. Alden told me that some of the ancient dragons that lived before this time had left scales from themselves around the world.
Maybe with those, you can restore your breath and reverse the curse that is on you.
Reverse my own curse? I want nothing more than to bring everyone back to the way it was. I thanked him and left. I started my journey to find the first dragon scale and noticed that more of the curse was spreading throughout the land. I don't know if I'll be able to stop this before it takes over the world, but I must have hope. Everyone is counting on me. I continued flying and saw that a village was being attacked by the witch's cursed army. I wish I never created this. I flew down and protected the villagers from being cursed. It was clear my iron sword was much more effective on them than my cursed weapon was. Once I was able to defeat them, all of the villagers gathered and looked at me. Oh no, are they going to attack? The villagers approached me and thanked me for saving them. I was shocked, but appreciated them. Thank you, you once evil but now good dragon. I told them to stay safe and flew off. You know, it felt good to not be seen as a monster. I finally arrived at the desert temple and began my search for the scale. On days 57 to 59, I entered the desert temple and began to look for anything that could resemble a dragon scale. There were strange spirits haunting the temple. Are these part of the witch's army? What are they doing here? The spirits rushed at me and began to attack. I tried to calm them, but they wouldn't listen. I had no choice but to fight them off. They didn't pack too much of a punch, but in numbers, they were strong. Eventually, I was able to defeat all of them and continue to search the temple. I moved through it and came across a room with what looked like a dragon scale in the center. I quickly grabbed it, and the scale combined with my scroll. It felt like a surge of power, and wow, I have 15 hearts. I noticed my boots had changed as well. They were no longer cursed. I tried my dragon breath. Yes, I had a new one. This one was green, and it felt more full of life. Maybe with this, I can reverse more of the curse. On days 60 to 62, I returned to the base and noticed the villager and his family were here. I tested out my new breath and was able to lift the curse from them, turning them back into regular villagers. Thank you so much! I told them that they can return to their village, but they refused. They wanted to stay with me. I decided to use some of the material I had to expand the villager's house and give his family enough space. I was still in the building mood, so I spent some time making upgrades to my house, as well as the farm. We were definitely going to need the extra food with them around.
Hey, Fozo, what's with all the commotion, huh?
I told them that I invited the villagers to come join us here if they wanted to stay away from the curse. The rat didn't seem too happy about that. I asked him what was wrong. He told me that with more people coming to base, he felt like I would forget about him. I told him not to ever think like that, because I would never forget him. He was my best friend in this cursed world.
Yeah. Thanks, Fozo. I really appreciate that.
Suddenly, a member of the Resistance arrived at my base.
Fozo, we need your help.
He then died, and I knew they were in trouble. I rushed back to the Resistance headquarters. On days 63 to 65, I made it to Marky's castle, and the place was completely destroyed. I flew around, and all I can see was destruction and fire. I finally spotted Marky and flew down to him. What happened?
The witch, she found our location and destroyed our entire operation.
He told me that he was surprised because the witch wasn't this powerful before. This isn't good. If this keeps up, the witch will be unstoppable.
You are our only hope, Fozo. We must work faster before it is too late.
I told them to send any survivors to my base. If this location was compromised, they would be safer there. Marky told me where I could possibly find the next dragon scale. He knew one of the ancient dragons made her home at an ice temple. I thanked Marky and told him to be careful. I flew away from the castle and headed for the temple. I flew up the mountains and felt something familiar about this place. What was it? I landed and found a dragon's nest, but it was destroyed. I walked around the nest and I instinctively knew what this place was. Was this
Your home.
I turned around and the witch was right behind me. She told me that she knew that I'd find my way here eventually. What are you doing here? Come to destroy more families? Well, not today, because I'm stopping you.
Oh, Fozo, nothing will have any effect on what has been done, not even dragon magic.
No, I don't believe you.
No matter what you do, the curse will not be undone. You have already lost and you don't even know.
I immediately attacked the witch with my new dragon breath, but she dodged my attack. I won't let you destroy anyone else's home like mine. You took everything from me. The witch laughed and began to fight back against me. I can tell her power had increased since we fought last. I knew if I continued fighting, all of what we were working for could be lost. I realized that the best thing I could do was flee. I flew out and made my way towards the temple. Next time, you won't be so lucky, witch. On days 69 to 71, I arrived at the ice temple Marky had told me about. I made my way inside and began to look for the dragon scale. It didn't take long before I'd found it. Yes! I rushed up to collect it, and it combined with the other and the scroll. I felt a surge of power, and my cursed chest plate was replaced with a new one. I also noticed that I had 20 hearts. This seemed too easy. Like something else had to be waiting for me.
Fozo, I should have expected you were here.
He rushed at me, and we started a fight. I threw everything I had at him using my breath of life.
Oh, so strong.
I was close to taking him down for good, but then left the temple. What was that? Where is he going with it? I tried to rush after him, but he was gone. I thought I finally had him. Ugh, no matter. I headed off to test my new upgrades. Now that I had 2 of the scales, I wanted to test my breath on some of the cursed mobs. I noticed a village that was completely cursed. The village was full of skeleton villagers. I used my breath on them, but nothing happened. Come on, this has to work. I have to save everyone this time. I gathered up all of the strength and used my breath on the entire village. The villagers and the village started to turn back to normal. The curse was gone. The villagers surrounded me and thanked me. Thank you, scary dragon. You're not a bad guy. Guys, he's not a bad guy. It felt great to be appreciated for my good deeds. I needed to tell Buster the good news, so I flew back towards my base.
Go! Destroy Fozo!
Yes, as you wish.
On days 75 to 77, I returned to my base and noticed that the resistance had arrived. Buster told me while I was gone, they showed up. They immediately started to construct houses for themselves, as well as help the villagers with their homes.
You know, you're kind of a hero, Fozo. Word of you has started to spread around the world, and everyone is motivated everywhere.
I asked him what he meant, and he told me that more and more villagers were starting to believe the curse could be lifted. That's excellent news. But how do you feel?
I don't know, to be honest with you, I'm still mad at them for how they treated me. Always making me feel like an outcast and all.
Hey, look around at everyone here. Things are gonna change. How much a few simple acts of hospitality brought joy to all of these people? We just gotta keep it up.
Yeah, you might be right, Fozo, but...
He was interrupted by Marky running over to us.
The witch's creation is terrorizing a nearby city. You have to save those people.
I told Buster our conversation could wait and rushed off to save them. On days 78 to 80, I confronted the T-Rex demon in the city. Your reign of terror ends now, Zilla.
You fool! I'm nothing more than a pawn in all of this.
The monster told me that soon the witch will reach her final form, and there's nothing I could do to stop her. Yeah, we'll see about that. Our fight began, and Zilla charged at me to go in for a bite. I immediately dodged his attack and knocked him back. I was much stronger than I was before, so I knew that I could beat him, but it just won't be that easy. Zilla tried to curse me, and I lost 5 of my hearts. I blew my purifying breath and greatly injured him.
You will never win, Fozo. You've already lost.
I shot my breath on him again and finally defeated the T-Rex demon. Good. Now I needed to go and find the witch.
Now this world will finally be cursed!
On days 81 to 85, I arrived at the witch's lair and began to search around for her. Where could she possibly be? As I looked around the base, I started to search through her chest, and to my surprise, she had a dragon scale. As I grabbed the scale, it combined with the others, and suddenly, I gained another 5 hearts, and my pants converted too. How did she get this?
It was your father's. I took it from him when I defeated him.
You're a monster. I will never let you get away with any of this. And now that I have all my scales, I'm going to stop you.
You're too late. I have everything I need to reach my final form. Nothing you do now even matters.
She began a fight against me. I had everything I needed and knew there was no way I would stand a chance against her now. I rushed away from her and headed somewhere that I hoped she wouldn't. I flew away from the witch and landed on the mountains where I used to live. I started to wonder. I had all the scales. Why am I not a regular dragon again? I tried to use my breath on myself, but it had no effect. How come I just can't break my own curse? Had all of this just been a waste of time? Instead of defeating the witch, I let her become so powerful to the point where now I can't stop her. I heard a strange noise and saw a flash of light. Suddenly, my father was standing before me.
Your heart, son. That is what makes a dragon what we are.
My father told me that the witch had taken my heart to create the curse that was on me. And if I wanted to return, I'll need a new heart. Wait, Dad, how will I be able to bring you back as well, though? I need your help to defeat her.
There is no way to bring us back, son. We are already gone, but you can still save the world.
My father told me to head back to my base. Someone was waiting for me. Before I could say any more, he vanished. Wait, no, Dad! Oh, man. I hoped that he knew what he was talking about. I headed off towards my base. On days 91 and 94, I returned and saw everyone gathered around. I looked and saw Alden had arrived at my base. Alden, I thought you were too weak to travel.
I could sense the world needed me to do so.
He continued to say that although I cannot bring my family back, I can use his heart.
With my heart, you will be able to save the world. You just need to believe in yourself.
The old dragon said he had lived in fear for too long and wanted to make things right. Alden passed away and dropped his heart in front of me. No, I was stunned, but I knew he believed it was right. I collected the heart and I felt so strong and powerful. In a flash of light, my curse was lifted and I returned to a normal dragon. I noticed that I had 30 hearts and all my cursed armor had been converted. I was cured. Marky and Buster approached me, and we began to formulate a plan to fight back against the witch. If I was able to restore more of the world, it might weaken her enough and give me a fighting chance to defeat her.
Good luck, Fozo.
Be careful, buddy. Come back alive, all right?
I will, Buster. I will. On days 95 to 99, I left the base and began to travel from village to village, lifting the curse from each area. I made sure I went far and wide to reach as many villages as I could. As I left, villagers cheered for me, calling me their savior. It felt great to lift the curse and restore things the way they should be. But all of a sudden, as I was looking for more villages, I spotted the witch's army moving, and it was far larger than I'd ever remembered. I began to fly over the army and fight back against them. As I used my breath, I noticed that many of them were changing back. The cured people began to fight back with me, and I told them to let me restore everyone. With one large breath, I was able to convert everyone back to normal. One of the resistance members approached me and told me that I needed to end the witch now before she was able to create another cursed army. You're right. I'm running out of time before the witch uses her abilities to curse everyone. I need to stop her now. It was day 100 as I arrived at the witch's base. I spotted her and noticed that she seemed weaker than when I last saw her. It's over. You have lost. I have already defeated your army, and I'm gonna defeat you too if I have to.
I will never surrender, Bozo. I created you, and I will take you out now if I must. This world will be my cursed dream.
Never! She shot a large spell at me, and I nearly dodged it before rushing at her with my own attacks. As I hit her with my dragon breath, I noticed that she was growing smaller and smaller. This must be the secret to defeating her.
This cannot be. You cannot win.
I'm fighting for more than just my own selfish purposes, witch. But you wouldn't know what that's like. I kept attacking her and could tell that she was growing more and more frustrated.
Bozo, now is your chance. She's weaker than she has been.
I could hear my dad's voice guiding me through the battle and saw her growing smaller once again. I told her to give up because it was no use anymore.
I will curse you!
So I used my dragon breath one more time on her and took her down for good. The curse had been lifted across the world, and now it was time for a new beginning. On day 1, I spawned in the middle of a shrine. Wow, I'm baby elemental Herobrine. As Herobrine, I can control people's minds and fly. Maybe with these new elements, I can cause even more chaos. I went off in search of the nearest kingdom. I have come to destroy your homes and... Wait a minute. I looked around and noticed that the kingdom has already been destroyed. Who did this? I saw villagers running away terrified. There's nowhere to run from Herobrine. Fear me. The villager just ran past me, cowering in fear. Who's a bigger threat than me? Suddenly, thunder could be heard, and a warlock appeared.
That's right. Run from the great Alistair, soon to be the world's strongest villain.
Strongest villain? I was really angry and accidentally shot a fireball at him with my elemental powers. I guess I don't have full control over them yet.
So, it's true. Elemental Herobrine exists. Yet another villain to destroy.
You think you can take me down? I'll use these new elements to show you who the strongest villain really is. He immediately blasted me with a beam of energy. Oh, I barely had any hearts left. I felt so weak and I can barely move.
I will take you back to my castle, where I can kill you slowly.
On day 2, I was taken back to a castle on top of a mountain. I was escorted to an operation room of some kind. Suddenly, I heard a loud roar and smashing noises and saw a monstrous beast. It was trapped inside of some kind of machine and was trying to get out.
I shall kill all the villains of this world. With no competition, I will finally be the strongest.
This guy is insane. Alistair then turned on the machine and it instantly killed the monster.
Now you're next, Elemental Herobrine.
Oh no, I gotta get out of here. Out of my panic, I suddenly can feel a surge of power within me. I let out a huge elemental lightning blast, creating an opening in the wall. I flew out of the hole and made a break for it.
I will find you, Elemental Herobrine.
On day 3, I flew a great distance and felt like I was far from Alistair's castle. Suddenly, though, I felt weak. Oh no, I can't fly anymore. Ah! I crash landed into a house and I was so weak. I decided to collect the wood from the house. I was able to make myself a crafting table and from it, a set of wooden tools. I looked and noticed that it also had a farm. Time to get some food. I'm starving. I quickly collected the food and made some bread. All of a sudden, a villager from inside came yelling at me. You monster! You destroyed my home, you idiot! I grew frustrated and suddenly something happened. His eyes were glowing. Mind control. Perfect. I commanded the villager to give me whatever resources he had on him. He then threw me a stack of cobblestone and a lot of quartz, as well as other building blocks. I took the cobblestone and used it to upgrade to stone tools. Thank you, servant. The servant then stopped being controlled and began to run out of fear. My regular Herobrine powers were nowhere near as powerful as these elemental ones. I should figure out why all of this is happening. I headed out to find out more about my elemental powers. On day 4, I ended up finding an old destroyed temple. I'm probably gonna need a place to stay, and I think this place serves me just right. Suddenly, a bunch of demons popped up in front of me. They all charged at me and started to attack. What are these things? I then shot them with fireballs, but it barely did any damage. I pulled out my stone sword and started to fight them the old-fashioned way. I was able to then take them all out. Suddenly, I grew into a full-size Herobrine. Sweet! I'm getting stronger. I even gained 5 more hearts. Well, now that those idiots are gone, I think I'll make this place my new home. I used the resources that the villager gave me and repaired some of the temple for myself. While I was repairing the damages, I noticed that there was a pillar in the middle. Interesting. I stepped on the pillar and something happened. I suddenly awoke and was somewhere else. Am I dreaming? There was a strange figure there, but I couldn't make out who it was. She said that she was the elemental being and that this was a vision.
I have given you 4 elements to defeat Alistair and stop his reign of tyranny: fire, ice, wind, and lightning.
Why would you choose me out of all people? You know that I'm a bad guy, right?
I know you all too well, Herobrine, but Alistair is a whole different kind of evil, one that will change this reality for eternity.
She told me that only I could stop Alistair. It was time to fight evil with evil.
Master all 4 of your elements to fully control them. Good luck, Herobrine.
Suddenly, I woke up and I was back in the house. Time to go to sleep and rest up before I go out and master my fire element. On day 6, I decided to try and learn my fire element. Come on, go! I would try to use it on command, but nothing worked. This is so frustrating. Fire would just shoot out randomly. Anyway, time to take my mind off of of this. I should probably further upgrade my home. It was still very destroyed, and I knew in order to defeat a villain, I had to live like a super one. I went out and got the necessary resources, but every time I would place a block down, I accidentally shot more fire out of my hands and destroyed it down. These elements are so frustrating. I can't control them at all. I decided to turn my attention to a farm. This bread I got won't last me forever. I started to place the foundation down, and then my crops. But again, I shot fire, and it burned all of them down. I can't even eat now. Suddenly, a strange person appeared out of nowhere.
Come here, you idiot. You obviously need my help.
Need your help? What are you talking about? Before I can say anything else, though, the strange man summoned up a small fire arena right in front of my base.
It's time to train.
We were inside a small arena, about to start my training? I'm guessing you have to do with my fire element.
Great. Why did you have to choose this arrogant, weak villain, elemental being?
Weak villain? Who even are you? The man introduced himself as Cyrus and said he was one of the elementals who served the elemental being.
The elemental being is supposed to choose one to wield all the 4 elements, and the chosen one is supposed to be a hero.
Well, I have no interest in being a hero. I only want to get rid of that warlock and reclaim my title as the best villain.
Figured that would be the case.
He told me that he wanted me to fight him. Cyrus said the rules were simple. A battle for strengths. No powers allowed. If I beat him, he would help me control my fire element. Piece of cake. You're on. I immediately charge at him and try to punch him. Cyrus didn't move at all and sent me flying. This guy is pretty tough. Cyrus came charging at me, and I knew I had to do something. I used my mind control on him to stop him for a second. I took the opportunity to knock him on the ground. There, I win.
You cheated!
With what proof? A deal's a deal, Cyrus. He wasn't happy, but he agreed and gave me a fire chest plate. Cyrus told me that this armored plate would give me full access to my fire abilities. I put it on and felt way stronger. Perfect. I was able to shoot out fire abilities at full strength now. Pleasure doing business with you. On day 8, I decided to fly out and explore. Now that I have full access to my fire abilities, why don't I give them a test drive? As I was flying, I spotted a village and thought they would be the perfect test subjects. I flew over and started burning the villagers' houses to the ground. The villagers began to run out of their houses and leave. That's right, you worms. Run! Run and flee from the great hero grind. I could feel the villagers' fear in the atmosphere. This is exactly what I came here for. I noticed that a few of them weren't running away. I flew down to them and asked why they weren't leaving.
You think you're so scary. You're nothing compared to Alistor.
I'm nothing?
Yeah, burning villages is weak. I saw the warlock turn a villager into a crater.
Great. Looks like I'm not as fearsome as I thought I was. I shot a fireball at the villager and forced him to run away. I flew out of the burning village and continued on my journey back to base. If I master my other elements, who knows what I'll be capable of. On day 9, I was on my way home when I suddenly could hear a loud caw nearby. What is going on?
Back off, you jerks! I'll peck your eyes out!
I found a chicken that was being attacked by a pack of wolves and used my fire abilities to scare them off.
Yeah, that's right. You better run and fear me!
What the heck are you doing? You're gonna get yourself killed.
Yeah, and people need to know that I'm more than just a stupid chicken.
Listen, you are a chicken. Chickens aren't meant to be scary.
Coming from you? Look at you. All you're doing is trying to prove your worth. Why can't I do the same, eh?
That's enough. I brought the chicken back to our base. He kind of reminded me of myself. This place is kind of a mess. How about we clean it up some more? Stuart agreed, and he cleaned around the base while I left to gather more resources. I returned and used the wood I collected to build a nice little home next to mine. There. Now we both have a nice house. Suddenly, explosions could be heard outside, and it startled Stuart. Great. That can't be good. On day 10, I flew out of base and spotted that lousy warlock, Alistor. He destroyed a town and was putting people in cages.
That's right. Step right in if you want to live.
You know, if you take all these people, there's not going to be anyone left to fear you. The warlock turned around and spotted me.
I don't care. All I want is to prove that I'm strong enough, with or without an audience.
The warlock told me that long ago, certain people never believed that he was strong and fearsome. They never really saw him living up to his full potential.
But now that I've done all of this, I will prove them right.
Who cares about your sob story? It's time to die. I charged at the warlock and knocked him to the ground. While he was down, I used my new fire abilities on him, covering him in fire. Alistor walked out of the flames and hit me with a beam of energy. I crashed into the ground. That single hit took 5 of my hearts away. I looked at the villagers in the cages and broke them free. Get out of here, you insects! You're in my way. The villagers ran out of the cage and left the town. That only made Alistar angry, and he hit me with a spell that made me extremely weak. Oh, this isn't good. I needed to escape, but the warlock was getting closer. I used the last of my energy to fly out fast.
Hide all you like. I will find you.
I ended up landing at the top of a snowy mountain. Phew, that was close.
You fool! Are you trying to get yourself killed?
I turned around and the elemental being was floating above me. She told me that in my current state, I stood no chance of defeating that warlock.
Alistar is far more powerful and thoughtful than you are.
Thoughtful? Listen, all I care about is defeating this guy to show the world who the stronger villain is. The elemental being was upset and said that she already told me how to do that. Yeah. Master the rest of the elements and become the champion of the world. I don't mind mastering the elements, but I would rather be a feared villain. Suddenly, the mountain started to shake, and I could tell that the elemental being was mad.
Just get a move on it. Go get some upgrades and make your way towards the ice temple.
She vanished. I wondered what the elemental being meant when she called Alistar thoughtful. Does she personally know him? And if so, why wouldn't she tell me? On days 13 to 14, as I reached the base, I saw a group of villagers waiting for me. The heck are you guys doing here? They wanted to thank me for rescuing them from Alistar.
You are our hero!
Hero? I'm not a hero. The villagers didn't listen though, and just kept cheering for me. Get out of here before I make you regret it.
He is the greatest! I love him!
I blasted one of the villagers and turned him into a chicken. You asked for it. The villagers started freaking out and ran away from the base. That's right. You better run away.
No! Wait! Please! Don't forget about me!
Their fear began to give me more strength. I think I should probably wear some armor as well. I decided to go into the nearest cave and mine for some iron. After that, I was able to make an iron helmet and leggings. This will for sure come in handy. I ventured out of the base and headed for the ice temple. While I was flying towards it, I sensed danger and narrowly dodged an arrow. Hey, who shot at me? I looked down and saw an armored warrior off in the distance. He kept shooting at me with his arrows, and I landed on the ground. Could you just quit it already? The warrior charged at me and tried to attack me with his diamond sword. What is your deal, man? He continued to swing his sword at me, so I responded by hitting him with a fireball. Who are you?
That doesn't matter. The world doesn't need any more villains like you. I'll get rid of all you monsters, including Alistar, the worst of them all.
He fired more arrows at me, and I teleported behind him. I tried to freeze him in place, but he easily broke out of it.
Ha! Your powers won't harm me, thanks to this armor.
The warrior swung his sword at me again, and I dodged it. This is so annoying. The warrior started charging at me, and I can feel more of my original powers returning. I used my powers to open a giant hole the moment the warrior got close to me. Have a nice trip, idiot. That takes care of him. Now, back to finding that ice temple. On days 17 to 18, I finally made it to the ice temple. This won't be my favorite vacation destination, but I guess it's kind of cool. I navigated my way inside, where I discovered the ice elemental waiting for me.
I've been waiting to train you. Great. Huh?
What? Were you expecting some knight in shining armor? He introduced himself as Soulsmass, and he thought it was funny that I showed up. What's so funny?
Out of all people, the elemental being has chosen a desperate villain to save the world.
First off, I'm not desperate. Secondly, I'm gonna use those ice powers to become the greatest villain the world has ever known.
We will see about that.
Soulsmass started summoning his forces, and they all began to attack me. His henchmen then tried to surround me, but I shot fireballs at them and turned them into ash. I used my stone sword to take down the rest of the henchmen and charged at Soulsmass. He then froze me in place with a beam of ice. Thanks to my fire upgrades, I easily melted them off. He tried to shoot me with another beam of ice, but I teleported behind him and took him down with a fireball. It's over. Time to help me get rid of Alistar.
Act tough all you want. Deep down, you know that Warlock is more evil than you.
Soulsmass then threw down an ice helmet. I equipped it and left the temple. After making it down the mountain, I pondered where I can go to test my enhanced ice powers. I've got it. I know the perfect place to test this baby out. I ventured out and found a broken down nether portal. I quickly repaired it, and once I was inside, I flew to the nether. Let's see how strong these ice powers are. I blasted the ground with an ice beam and began to turn the nether into an icy tundra. Piglins started running out of their homes, scared and confused about what was going on.
Who would be so evil to do this?
The fear around the nether started fueling my body, and I gained 5 more hearts from it. Perfect. The world will learn the name of Herobrine very soon. I then left the nether and made my way back to the overworld. I should head back to base and check on that chicken. Hopefully, he hasn't gotten himself into trouble.
I don't think so.
Suddenly, a beam of energy sent me crashing into the ground. Ow, who did that? I turned around, and Alistor was there, floating above me.
Out of all people, you were the one chosen to wield these elements?
The warlock was clearly angry that the elemental being chose us as her elemental warrior. How do you two even know each other, huh?
This doesn't concern you. I'll just get rid of you and all the elements. That should show her what happens when you interfere with my actions.
Bring it on! I've been meaning for a rematch anyway. I shot Alistor with a fireball and then tried to strike him down with my stone sword, but it was no good. Ugh, I'm still not strong enough to hurt him. I knocked Alistor to the ground and froze him in place with my enhanced ice powers. This is such a pain, but I needed to get out of here. I flew up into the sky and made my way back to base. On days 21 to 23, I went inside my base and found a small farm was added to it.
I thought you might get hungry on your ventures, so I made this for you.
Thanks. Now, I don't have to think about eating you from time to time.
What?
Since Stuart wanted to add more stuff to the base, I decided to add stuff too. Using the rest of the wood I'd collected, I started building a wall around it. After that, I went over to Stuart's house and told him about my progress with the elements. I told him that I was getting closer to mastering them. Alistor's days are numbered once I do.
Well, you can't beat Alistair without some kind of protection, as you are now a walking target.
I hated to admit it, but the chicken was right. If I wanted to withstand Alistor's attacks, I needed to be fully armored. I ventured out of the base and eventually came across a cave nearby. The cave was full of iron. Using my iron pickaxe, I was able to find some diamonds and use it to replace my iron armor with diamond armor. Nice. This should keep me safe for now. I teleported back to base and decided to take a nap for the day.
Herobrine, Herobrine, Herobrine!
Ah! I woke up and found myself back in the elemental being's temple. I was sleeping. The elemental being didn't care and asked me how Soulsmask was doing. Well, about that, he's definitely going to have to retire after how bad I hurt him. On the bright side, I mastered my ice elements.
That wasn't necessary, but whatever it takes to defeat Alistor.
Speaking of Alistor, what's the deal with you and that warlock? It seems like you both know each other. The elemental being told me that long time ago, Alistor wanted to be the one that was chosen to harness the elemental powers.
Alistor wanted his powers. He thought he was capable of holding them, but I thought otherwise. I refused and was heartbroken. He didn't like this and decided to go on a rampage.
Wait a minute, heartbroken?
Anyways, here's the location for the Wind Temple, where you will meet my servant, Goro.
The elemental being gave me a warning that things are going to be much harder now that Alistor knows that I'm looking for the elements. Whatever. If things get harder because of Alistor, then so be it. I'm a supervillain. Difficulty is my specialty.
I know you're more than that, Herobrine. The only one that fails to see that is you.
On days 27 to 29, I made my way out of base and flew toward the Wind Temple. I knew that Alistor had his eyes on me, so I stayed vigilant for him or his goons. Then, out of nowhere, a trident came flying towards me. I was able to dodge it, but felt the blade of my attacker. I turned around, and it was the armored warrior. How in the world are you still alive?
I have my ways.
You've gotta be kidding me. The warrior charged at me with his trident, but I stunned him with a giant fireball. I was more in tune with my abilities, so dealing with this guy was a piece of cake. I continued to set the warrior on fire, but he powered through it and sliced me with his big sword. Why do I feel so weak? What is that sword?
It's something specially made to deal with villains like you.
You're gonna regret that. I used my enhanced ice powers and froze the warrior in place. This bought me enough time to barrage him with fireballs and ice beams until eventually his helmet fell off. Let's see who's under that mask. Steve? Of course it would be you of all people.
I'll make you regret doing that, Herobrine. You haven't seen the last of me.
Steve immediately ran off and left the arena. Now I can focus on my real task, finding the Wind Temple. I arrived at the location of the Wind Temple, but something was wrong. Nothing was there. Where the heck could it be? A gust of wind blew past me, and I looked up to see that the wind temple was up in the sky. Oh, that makes sense. I flew up there and saw that the temple was on fire. No! Did Alastor get here before me? I flew inside and saw the wind elemental getting attacked by Alastor's henchmen.
Help! Somebody help!
I have to save him. Oh, and I can't afford to lose my wind element either. Pick on someone your own size, you freaks. The henchmen turned their attention to me, and one of them charged. I used my ice powers to freeze him in place. The other henchmen tried to attack me, but I shot a giant fireball to easily beat them.
You saved me? But why?
Don't think too much about it. I, only saved you because I needed your wind element. The wind elemental told me that their name was Koro. Koro thought differently and thanked me for the assistance anyways. I demanded him to give me the wind enhancements as a reward.
As much as I would love to do that, unfortunately, I can't. The Warlock's men raided my temple and took my powers.
Great, so you're useless to me now. Koro told me that he found it weird that the elemental being chose us, considering everything that happened with Alastor. What do you mean by that?
Well, at one point, the Warlock and the elemental being used to be together. The Warlock loved her.
Aha! I knew it! Her saying that he was thoughtful, saying that he was heartbroken, it was because they were together. I wonder what else the elemental being is hiding from me. Koro told me that his men who took his powers were at a camp nearby, and I left to go pursue them. On days 33 to 35, I found the demon camp that had Koro's wind enhancements.
Look, I can fly! I can fly!
Those fools were playing around with my wind element? Get your filthy hands off of my wind powers! The demons saw me floating above them and laughed at me.
A weak villain like you doesn't deserve to have this power.
Could a weak villain do this? I shot the flying demon with a huge fireball, and he fell to the ground, burnt to a crisp. The wind enhancement was on the ground, and I went down and acquired it. Yes, you've returned to its rightful owner. The demons were stunned at the sight of their fallen comrade, and I took this opportunity to use my new wind powers to summon wind gusts around the camp. The demons were filled with fear, and all of them ran away. Serves you right. Who's the weak villain now? I used my wind powers to destroy the camp and made my way back to base. I flew inside of base, feeling confident. I'm just so strong. Now that I have 3 of the 4 elements, I feel like I'm on top of the world. All I need is lightning, and Alastor is finished.
Hey, you're getting so caught up with these elemental powers that you're starting to forget yourself.
It doesn't matter, chicken. These elements are making me so powerful.
You need to remember that you can still be strong without those elements.
Shut up. You know nothing about me. Stuart seemed upset. Whatever. That didn't matter. Anyways, this base wasn't screaming evil to me at all, so I decided to make some changes about it. I went outside of the base and changed some of the blocks around me to shout more super villain. Now that looks more sinister.
You weak, pathetic minions! Why can't you destroy that weakling of a villain?
Well, sir, he's gotten much stronger after enhancing his elemental powers.
You want to be stronger too? Fine. Now go and deal with Herobrine for good this time.
On days 39 to 41, I left the base and went to go look for the elemental being. I needed to go and retrieve the lightning element sooner rather than later. I made it up to a hilltop and wondered if this was the place to summon her. I'm at the right place, right? Whoa! I dodged an incoming arrow and spotted Alastor's henchmen. You guys don't learn, do you? The henchman pulled out a wand, and suddenly I started to feel weak. What did you do to me?
Not so tough now without your elements.
I can't be defeated by these fools. What do I do?
You're Herobrine, remember? Use your own powers.
Stuart showed up and must have followed me, but he was right. I am Herobrine. I have my own powers too. My powers started increasing my strength, and I floated above the henchmen. I summoned lightning, and it struck down all around the area.
What are you?
I used the lightning to strike down the henchmen and defeated them. I'm Herobrine, the one and only. Stuart was glad to see that I was alright, and my elements returned to me. Don't expect a thanks from me. Just get home safely. After watching the chicken leave, I could sense the elemental being was nearby. I must be getting close. I found the elemental being's temple and went inside to meet her.
I'm impressed impressed by the progress you've made so far, Herobrine. You're more than ready to acquire the lightning enhancement.
Well, before you tell me that, you've got some explaining to do. Koro told me about your relationship with Alastor.
Koro had no business telling you that. Alastor and I loved each other, but he changed.
It was your fault that I changed, elemental being. Or should I say, Mavis.
Stay back, elemental being. The warlock is mine. I charged at Alastor, but he blasted me away with a beam of energy.
I loved you, Mavis, but you broke my heart. You think that I wasn't enough? Well, all that I'm doing is to show you who I really am, with or without your elements.
Listen, Alastor.
No! Once I reach my full potential, you will regret everything you've done to me.
I got up and tried to rush the warlock, but he grabbed Mavis and teleported out of the temple. Great. Now I gotta go and rescue her too. On days 45 to 47, I returned to base to find Koro, Cyrus, and Soulsmass waiting for me.
You let Alistair take the elemental being? What's wrong with you?
It's not my fault. If she was honest from the beginning, maybe I would have been more prepared.
If the warlock kills Mavis, there'll be terrible repercussions from this. The world will tear itself apart without the elements.
Be quiet, you two. Alastor loves Mavis too much to kill her.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. It's a chance you can't take.
To shut these guys up, I decided to go out and quickly build an elemental house for them to stay in. I walked away from them and ran into Stuart.
They're right, Herobrine. If that warlock kills her, there won't be a world for you to hunt anymore.
I know, but I can't just storm his castle. He'll be expecting me. I'm gonna need some help breaking Mavis out.
Who did you have in mind?
The only person I thought I would never ask, but I've got no choice. I flew over a forest and could sense that his presence was there. I landed inside the forest and walked around to find him. I bet you're wondering who I'm looking for. Steve! I know you're out here. You can quit hiding now. Suddenly, Steve came out of hiding and tried to attack me with his special sword. I easily dodged his attack and froze him in place.
I won't rest until I destroy you and the warlock.
Listen, for once, I'm not here to fight. The elemental being has been captured by the warlock.
Elemental being?
Yeah, she's the one that gave me elemental powers and controls all of the elements of the world. Listen, I don't have time for this. If she dies, who knows what will happen?
I don't believe you.
Suddenly, the world around us started to shake and cracks started to form around us. You were saying? Steve agreed to listen to what I had to say, and I unfroze him. I told him that I needed his help with getting Mavis. If I do, I can stop Alastor from destroying the world. Once we save her and get rid of that warlock, we can have a grand final battle and finish things between us. Deal?
Fine. A truce for now.
I bet you regret the way you treated me now. How ironic is this? You wouldn't grant me the elements because you thought I was too dangerous. But instead you chose Herobrine?
I'm sorry, Alastor. Listen, it's not too late to stop all of this.
It is too late, Mavis, and you will regret hurting me. Once you're gone, who knows how powerful I'll become.
On days 51 to 53, Steve and I finally reached Alastor's base. The elemental being must be somewhere inside. Oh no, she's in trouble. We need to hurry. The two of us rush inside of the prison to find the elemental being was trapped inside of a special cage. There were different colored lights around it that kept us from touching it.
You're running out of time. Alastor is trying to destroy me and remove the elements from the world.
Suddenly, Alastor's henchmen showed up and surrounded us.
It's Herobrine and Steve! Get them!
The demons rushed at us, and Steve started mowing them down with his sword. I used my wind powers to throw them away.
I'll handle the guards. You take care of those beacons.
Don't order me around. But fine. I went over to the beacons and started destroying them with my fire powers. Once I destroyed the last beacon, there was a large flash of light that covered the entire prison. Ow, my head. I wasn't expecting that to happen. My vision came back to me and I could see that Alastor was inside the prison and he didn't look too happy.
You fool! How dare you free my Mavis from her prison?
She doesn't belong to you, you whack job. You were gonna kill her. Now, if you'll excuse us, I have an element to collect.
You all aren't going anywhere.
Come on, Steve. Let's take care of this loser.
Sorry, but he's not my problem.
What? Steve! That jerk escaped the tower and left us. Coward. I struck Alastor with my lightning, but it didn't deal any damage. Jeez, what is this guy made of? Alastor blasted me with a huge beam of energy, and it took 10 of my hearts away. Ouch, this dude is still too strong for me. Mavis stepped in front of me and blocked one of the warlock's beams.
We need to get out of here. You're still not ready to face it.
Mavis grabbed me, and we teleported out of the prison.
No!
On days 57 to 59, Mavis and I ended up in a garden far away from Alistor's base.
Thank you for rescuing me, Herobrine.
No, I don't want to hear anything out of you right now. You lied to me.
I did not lie to you. I only told you what you needed to hear. And why are you so upset? You're a villain. Shouldn't villains be used to lies?
Well, I'd rather be a villain than a liar to the person who's cleaning up your mess. I told Mavis that I don't care about her feelings for Alistor. The Warlock needed to be stopped. Once I acquire the lightning element, Alistor won't stand a chance against me. Then I will become the most powerful supervillain in Minecraft. Now give me the location of the lightning temple. The sooner I enhance the lightning element, the sooner I can get rid of Alistor once and for all. Mavis tossed me a map that would lead me to the lightning temple.
Zyran will be the person who will help you with this task.
Good. Why don't you stay here and think about your former lover? I floated up in the sky and flew off toward my base. I returned to the base, and when I arrived, I saw that the farm was larger.
Yeah, apparently chickens and elementals get along great. We made this farm together.
At least he's somewhat useful. I then talked to Stuart about Mavis lying to me.
Don't think about it too much, Herobrine. You'll still get to take down Alistair regardless.
Yeah, but am I doing it for my sake or for hers?
Herobrine, you were chosen by the elemental being because you're the greatest villain to have ever lived.
The chicken told me that I was the only one who could stop Alistor and show him who the real villain was.
And for that, I find it truly inspiring. I look up to you a lot. One day, I hope I'm just as scary.
That reminded me, I still needed to upgrade my fear levels, and I think I know just how to do it. Stuart looked confused, and I told him that I needed his help if I wanted this to work. It's time to get more people to fear us.
Did you say us?
On days 63 to 65, Stuart and I arrived at a nearby kingdom and we're floating over it.
What am I gonna do, Herobrine?
You're gonna help me get all these people to fear the name of Herobrine once again.
Oh my god, I'm finally gonna be evil. It's happening! It's finally happening!
I used my original powers to possess Stuart and gave him some of my powers. Stuart began to fly around the kingdom and started shooting lightning around the area, destroying all of it.
Oh yeah! Run! Run, you insects! And fear the might of Herobrine!
Ah, it's a possessed chicken! The villagers started running around the kingdom, afraid of Stuart and his new powers. Perfect! Their fear made me so much stronger. I even gained 5 more hearts.
This is the best moment of my life! Did I do good, Herobrine?
You did great, Stuart. Now finish destroying this kingdom and then return to base. I have a lightning temple to go to. Stuart continued causing chaos around the kingdom while I made my way towards the temple. I arrived at the lightning temple and it was surrounded by bolts of lightning. I dodged them and entered the temple to find Zyran, the lightning element, waiting for me.
Ah, yes. You must be the so-called Herobrine, the elemental being mentioned to me.
You got that right, pal. And you must know why I'm here.
Of course. You're here for the lightning enhancement. It's over there in the middle of the temple. But be warned, you don't choose the lightning enhancement. The lightning enhancement chooses you.
I didn't know what that meant, but who cares? It was time to upgrade my lightning element. The enhancement was sitting there in the middle of the temple, and the moment I touched it, I got struck by lightning. Ouch! I tried to acquire the enhancement again, and I was bombarded with lightning. You're gonna obey me whether you like it or not. Zyran then ran up towards me and stopped me.
Ask yourself, why do you do what you do?
Because I'm a villain. I am evil.
Is it because you are evil, or because being a villain grants you the attention that you very much desire?
What are you talking about? Zyran went on to explain that all villains become who they are by wanting something. Once I can come to terms with my desires, I can gain this new element.
Don't be afraid, Herobrine. Accept it.
Suddenly, the lightning stopped, and I finally acquired the enhancement. I was finally able to fully use lightning at will.
Congratulations! You've now mastered all 4 elements. But if you really want to stop Alistair, you're going to need more than just the elements.
What do you mean by that? Zyran gave me a map and told me that a blacksmith could forge a special sword to defeat Alistor.
All that's left now is that pain in my side. Herobrine. Once I kill him, I'll be the last villain that remains.
On days 69 to 71, I was flying towards the blacksmith's forge when I sensed Steve at a coliseum.
Herobrine, come face me, you fool!
I landed in front of him and asked what he wanted. You finally done running away like a little baby?
Herobrine, Alistair has killed all of the villains except for you.
Great. Less competition.
I know that if he kills you, he will become unstoppable, and I cannot let that happen. So I'm gonna kill you myself.
You know what? It's time I got rid of you once and for all. Steve charged at me and sliced me with a special sword. I didn't take any damage, and Steve was shocked. Now that I've mastered all the elements, your sword can't hurt me. I used my new lightning powers and shot Steve with multiple lightning bolts. This sent him flying and greatly weakened him. I told you that I'd give you a grand finale fight. I just didn't say who would win.
You monster.
I used my mind control powers to stop Steve from moving. Then I finally defeated him with a fireball. The crowd was shocked to see that I won. The show's over, people. I summoned lightning around the Coliseum and forced the villagers to run away in fear. Looks like I've still got it. I flew out of the Coliseum and continued my venture toward the forge. I made it to the ancient blacksmith's forge and went inside. The place was completely empty. Hello? Is anyone here?
What do you want? The shop's closed.
Ah! I turn around and the ancient blacksmith was right there behind me. Man, I could have killed you. Don't scare me like that. He introduced himself as Momar, and I asked him for his help in crafting a weapon that could defeat Alastor.
No, I can't make another weapon of mass destruction. I've retired.
This weapon won't be used for destruction, but used to free the world of Alastor's control. Come on, you've got to help me. Momar was hesitant at first, but finally gave in and agreed to craft me a weapon to defeat the warlock.
Go to a cave nearby and mine some gold and diamond. I need them to craft your weapon to get rid of that warlock.
On days 75 to 77, I made my way inside of the cave and found it full of diamonds and gold. I used my iron pickaxe and began mining as much gold and diamond that I could collect. Suddenly, Mavis teleported in front of me. What do you want, elemental being?
I know that you're trying to find a way to kill Alastor. After seeing how much I hurt him, we should reconsider.
What do you want me to do then? Talk it out?
Actually, that's exactly what I want you to do.
Seriously? After everything he's done to you and this world? You want me to talk it out with him? What was the point of even summoning me then? Mavis told me that Alastor was truly evil, but misguided.
Please, Herobrine, just give it a chance.
Fine. But if he refuses to surrender, then all bets are off the table. Mavis thanked me and teleported out of the cave. I then continued to mine some more gold and diamonds and went back over to Momar's forge. I went inside and gave him all the gold and diamonds that I had collected. Momar thanked me for all my hard work and got to work crafting me my new weapon. A couple days passed and Momar was finally finished crafting it.
It's finally finished. My greatest masterpiece, the Sword of Endings.
It was beautiful. With that sword, I could probably slice Alastor into pieces. That sword would make me an unstoppable villain. I reached for the sword, but Momar was hesitant to give it to me.
Promise me you'll use this sword for good. Use it for the sake of others.
I promise. I'll use the sword to do good, not evil at all. Maybe a little bit. Momar dropped the sword, and I could feel the power swelling within it. Thank you. I promise that I'll stop Alastor. I flew out of the forge and headed back to my base. Fool! I'm gonna use this sword for the good of myself and the sake of villainy. No hard feelings, Momar. On days 81 to 85, I made it back to my base to find it completely destroyed. Oh no, what happened here? I ran inside and started looking for Stuart, but I couldn't find him anywhere. Stuart! Stuart! Oh, where could that chicken be?
Hello, Herobrine.
I turned around and saw Alastor holding Stuart hostage. What are you doing here?
You didn't think I would find you, did you? Now it's time for you and this chicken to die.
Wait, the warlock stopped his attack, and I told him that I didn't want to fight. I know that you're angry about what Mavis did to you, but she's sorry, and we could still stop this. Why won't you let Stuart go and return to Mavis? I promise she's willing to make things right. You can be with her, and I can be the world's strongest villain. How does that sound? Alastor thought about my offer for a moment, but already made his decision.
I am beyond stopping at this point. Now, die!
The warlock shot a huge beam of energy at me, but Stuart jumped in the way and took the blast. No! I charged at Alastor and sliced him with my new sword. The warlock was shocked from the damage he took and teleported out of my base.
Herobrine.
No. Stuart, why did you do that, you big idiot? You can't die for me.
You made me realize that anyone can follow their dreams. Even a chicken like me.
Stuart, stay with me. Stay with me. No! Alastor shall die for this. I stormed out of my base and laid waste around everything that I saw. I used my lightning to strike down everything in my path and shot fireballs burning everything around me. There was a town nearby and it needed to be destroyed. I teleported in the middle of the town and started destroying the entire place. I burned buildings down to the ground and killed villagers with lightning strikes. The villagers started fleeing, but I didn't care. Everyone was going to feel my wrath. A villager stopped running and stared at me. Why? Why are you doing this? Why? Because I can. I shot a fireball at the villager and instantly fried him. Fear was all around the atmosphere, and I can feel it making me stronger. I even had 10 more hearts. Now, this world will understand true pain and misery. You are next, Alastor. On days 91 and 94, I made my way back to base when I spotted the elemental being nearby. What do you want?
You're tearing the world apart, Herobrine. You need to stop.
And why should I? All this is because you couldn't calm down your boyfriend.
Then focus your attention on Alastor and stop him.
I began to calm down. Stuart's death is on your hands, Mavis. Alastor needs to be stopped once and for all. I decided before I went out, I wanted to give my friend a proper goodbye. We returned to base, and I built a grave for Stuart. I promise, old friend, I'm gonna make Alastor suffer for what he's done to you.
At last, my conquest will finally come to an end. Come, Herobrine, let us finish this fight once and for all.
What's that?
An invitation. It's time that me and Alastor settle things once and for all. I teleported myself in front of Alastor's castle. An army of his henchmen were waiting for me. I flew up into the sky and summoned lightning bolts around the castle, laying waste to it and the henchmen. I shot fireball after fireball at the demons, killing swarms of them with ease. The demons were so shocked by my power that they didn't even know what to do. I landed in front of the army and used my wind powers to blow some of the demons away. A group of demons tried to charge at me, but I used my ice ability to freeze them in place. You guys are making it too easy. I summoned another lightning bolt and destroyed the frozen demons. Using my elemental sword, I charged in and easily killed other demons, one after another.
This cannot be. I'm supposed to be the most powerful villain, not you.
Alastor floated in the sky and flew away from the castle. Where do you think you're going? I was about to fly after him, but Mavis stopped me.
I'm sorry for what happened to Stuart. Go, Herobrine. End this.
I will. I flew off towards Alastor. On day 100, I spotted Alastor in the same kingdom where it all started. You dare think you would ever have been a better villain than Herobrine?
This world isn't big enough for two powerful villains.
Oh, you're a villain, all right, but not a powerful one.
Oh yeah? What's the difference?
Presentation! Lightning then started to shoot across the village. The warlock flew right at me, but I knocked him to the ground with my sword. Alastor cast a spell on me to try and weaken me. It hurt a lot, but I can't give up now. I used my ice powers to freeze the warlock in place. Then I shot him with a giant fireball and a lightning bolt to break him out of the ice.
This can't be happening.
Alastor was very weak, but he kept fighting back.
No!
I used my elemental sword to strike down the final blow to Alastor, killing him in front of the villagers. There is only one villain to fear in this world, and that villain is Herobrine. On day 1, I spawned in as a baby werewolf. Halloo! In front of me was my older brother and the rest of our werewolf pack.
Little brother, you made it. Welcome to your new home.
Just then, lightning struck, and an army of vampires suddenly appeared.
For centuries, the vampires and werewolves have fought and fought, but I finally found the upper hand.
The vampire then casted a spell. Our once full moon was reduced all the way down to a crescent. This sent out a curse upon all of us werewolves. Oh no, I feel so weird.
Ha ha ha! Once you werewolves are gone, us vampires will rule the night. Attack!
Vampires then started to rush in and fight us werewolves. Because of the curse, we were losing.
Brother, we must run now.
I did as instructed, and together, my brother and I escaped with the vampires right on our tail. On day 2, I was running side by side with my brother. The vampires then used an ability that allowed them to turn into deadly bats. Oh no. We reached a graveyard and now had nowhere to go.
Stay behind me.
The bats swarmed in and my brother started to attack. He used incredible abilities and slashed most down with ease. I could tell though, he was getting tired and more of them just kept coming in. One of the last bats flew straight down and bit my brother. Ah! He quickly took him down, but I could tell he was weak.
Fozo, listen to me. These vampires, they've always wanted our downfall. They're extremely powerful. and nearly impossible to destroy.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I'm not going to make it. If anyone can stop them and put an end to this curse, it's you, Fozo. I love you, brother.
Just then, my older brother died in front of me. No! A loud rumbling started to fill the area. I looked up and saw a large rock falling down from the sky. What is going on here? On day 3, I headed out to follow the falling rock. I wonder what that thing was. Just then, the sun started to creep out from the nearby mountains. Its light directly hit my fur. Ah! Because of this, I felt so weak. Sunlight weakens me? No matter. I have to keep going. I finally reached the site, and everything looked destroyed. At the center of it was a man picking up a weird-looking fragment.
Now this is interesting.
All of a sudden, a group of monster hunters emerged from the forest.
Ironbeard, is it? Local blacksmith. If you know what's good for you, you give us whatever you just found there.
Just leave me alone.
The monster hunters didn't listen and rushed in to attack. I knew I couldn't just sit back and do nothing. Hey, leave him alone!
A werewolf? Kill him!
Even though I was weakened by the sunlight, my deadly claws were still putting up a fight. Their swords hurt a lot, but I wasn't going to quit now. My brother didn't, so I can't either. I hit one of them one last time, which made them run away scared.
We'll be back!
With the beam of light clashing against my skin, I couldn't help but feel weaker and weaker. Oh no, I'm gonna pass out. On day 4, I awoke inside of a strange forge? How did I get here? That's when I noticed the strange fragment lying on a table. It then began to glow. I slowly walked towards it because of my urge and picked it up. Something strange began to happen to me. I ran out of the forge and let out a loud howl. Because of this, the moon upgraded and became fuller. I gained 5 more hearts and was now an adult-sized werewolf. From the looks of things, my curse seemed to have gotten weaker. Whoa, what just happened?
Oh my, that explains everything.
You saved me?
Yeah, I was just returning the favor. But now everything is starting to connect. Follow me.
I followed the blacksmith over to the edge of his mountain.
Last night, I watched as the moon suddenly transformed. From it fell down 5 different moon fragments, heading straight down to the ground. And it seems like each one you collect makes you grow stronger.
And the curse becomes weaker. So, if I find all 5, I can get rid of this curse and take down the vampires? Sweet. Anything to save my species.
After you helped me and saved my life, I'd be happy to help you on your journey. The name's Ironbeard.
Nice to meet you. You can call me Fozo. Just then, something strange began to happen. Since I was now an adult, I had a heightened sense of smell, and it was going crazy. Where is that coming from?
Help! Help! Help me!
Whoa, my nose can do that? I better go and save him. On day 5, I ran through the forest, following my nose. I was then met with a loud, obnoxious skull.
Hey, who you calling loud, dude?
Okay, calm down. What happened?
I was just minding my own business, enjoying a midnight stroll, and saw this cool fallen star. Then, out of nowhere, a swarm of bats flew in, and now, look at me! All of my body bones are missing!
Wait a minute. That wasn't a falling star. That was a moon fragment. Do you think you can show me where it went?
Yeah, I can show you, but first, I need my body, genius!
Okay. You don't have to yell. Don't worry. I will find them for you. Now, where did those bats fly off towards? On day 6, I used my trusty nose and went throughout the forest in search of the crazy skeleton's bones. I was able to find both of his legs caught up in a tree, an arm behind a rock, and his other arm on a nearby mountain. Ah, this nose is great. Okay, Fozo. Now, just for his body. But where can I find that? Just then, I spotted a small camp inside of a cave entrance. Lying inside of it, there it is. His body. I made my way over carefully until I heard the sound of wings flapping nearby. Is that? Oh no. A vampire bat appeared behind one of the tents.
A werewolf? You shall die in the name of Veinstalker!
The bat flew in and started to attack. I used my slash on it every chance I could. It was a long and challenging fight, but eventually I was able to take it down. Jeez, one of the vampires are this strong? I don't even want to know how strong Veinstalker is. After my victory, I went over and picked up the skeleton's ribcage. All right, buddy, it's time to get your body back. On day 7, I arrived back at the blacksmith where the skeleton head was waiting for me.
Well, it's about time.
I can't believe you made me pick this thing up.
I'm sorry, but do you think you can put his body back together with all of this? The blacksmith nodded and went to work. While he was operating on the skeleton, I decided I needed a place to call my own. I went out and used my fierce werewolf claws to mine wood and stone for myself. With this, I was able to make myself a set of stone tools. From there, I went to work and got enough materials to make myself a nice werewolf-themed den. Sweet! This place is perfect. Just as I finished building, the blinding sun came out again. Ah! It hurts so much.
Looks like the sun makes you weak, huh? Give me some time, Fozo. I may have a solution for that.
Sounds good. As I finished my sentence, the new and improved skeleton walked up to me.
Hey, I feel fantastic. You think a blacksmith could do better than just patching me up with some moss? Ah, well, I guess this works. Thanks for your help, werewolf. The name's Marvin.
Well, it's nice to officially meet you, Marvin. So, you said you can help and show me where the moon fragment went?
The shooting star? Of course. I'll take you right to it.
On day 8, Marvin and I ventured out until we arrived at a large junkyard outpost. Who could own something like this?
Behold, the civilization of the were-rats. Who dares enter?
Were-rats?
Yeah, good luck, man. I'm out of here.
Gee, thanks for the backup.
A werewolf, huh? Oh, Mr. Motts would want to speak to you.
The rat escorted me deep inside of their junkyard until we reached a main room. Sitting on a trashy throne was a rat larger than the rest.
Now what brings someone like you here to my kingdom, pal?
I didn't mean to disturb you guys. I'm just looking for a moon fragment and...
A moon fragment? This guy must be crazy or something. Are you talking about our sacred moon cheese?
Wait, what? Mr. Motts brought me over to a display room, and laying there in the center was the next moon fragment. Look, sir, I need it.
Whoa. This piece of cheese is our rat's most prized possession. You really think I'm just gonna give it away? You gotta earn it, pal.
And how can I do that?
Us were-rats are entertainers. If you can beat me in our highest known tournament, the Maze Run, then you can, take our moon cheese.
Okay, Mr. Motts, you are on. On days 9 to 10, I was escorted over to a large labyrinth of sorts. Both Mr. Motts and I were placed on opposite sides of it, and a loud voice spoke.
Welcome to the Maze Run! Both competitors are placed on either side of the maze, and the first one to reach to the center, which holds our precious moon cheese, wins!
Okay, sounds easy enough.
This dumb fella's going down.
The game begun, and both Mr. Motz and I ran through the maze. I used my nose to my advantage and tried my best to sniff out the moon fragment until I met a patch of lava. On the other side of it was the entryway to the main room that held the moon fragment. How am I supposed to cross this? I thought fast and used the cobblestone I acquired earlier and placed them as I jumped across the lava. I placed the final one and made it to the final room. First, I did it. Mr. Motz then entered right after me.
No, there is no way you beat me. Nobody beats Mr. Motz.
Well, I did, so a deal is a deal.
No way, pal. You had to have cheated, and cheaters will pay the price.
On days 11 to 12, Mr. Motz rushed in at me and began to attack. Hey, that's not fair. He didn't listen though and kept attacking. He had a powerful bite attack that did lots of damage to me. And are those fleas? Gross. I did my best and fought back against him using my slashes, but his bites were really strong.
Nobody messes with Mr. Motz and gets away with it.
Just then, more rats emerged in and started to attack me as well. With all of them and Mr. Motz combined, I knew that I was done for. That's when I had an idea and looked at the moon fragment. Okay, here goes nothing.
Hey, stop that guy! He's going after the cheese!
I managed to pick it up, which caused a powerful surge of energy to fill within me. I let out a strong, powerful howl again, and it made the moon fuller. I gained 5 more hearts, my curse got weaker, and I now had a cool fighting ability. Bring it! I was able to take the were-rats down now with ease.
No!
Mr. Motz charged in again. Now with my new bite, he didn't stand a chance against me.
It's so unfair!
Mr. Motz and his people were down for the count. If only you guys stuck to your word. On days 13 to 14, I was making my way back home until I heard a loud howl crying out. Who is that? I followed the noise until I saw a small werewolf prison being ran by none other than Veins-Stalker.
Yes, rise. Rise!
I looked over and saw a very weak, cursed werewolf in one of the cages. Purple essence then began to take over his body, and he was then transformed into a vampire? What?
Perfect. The curse. It worked. Those werewolves will be no more soon enough.
Wait, so when the curse gets fulfilled on us, we don't die, but we get transformed into them? That is how he's gonna get stronger. His army will.
Yes, we shall be powerful.
Listen closely. My plan is working. All you have to do, my fellow bats, is find that rogue werewolf.
Oh no, he's talking about me. I watched as he commanded a small group of bats to go search a nearby area.
There is a laboratory close by. I have reason to believe there has been activity there from a moon fragment. Find it. Do not let that rogue werewolf get its paws on it.
The vampires all flew out and left. A laboratory? Where could I find that? On days 15 to 16, I arrived back to base.
Oh, there you are! You're still alive!
Yeah, thanks for the backup, by the way.
Fozo, whoa, you've gotten stronger again. You found another one?
Yes, I did. He then threw me over a cloak of some sorts. What is this?
Put it on. It should help you with your sun problem.
I did as he said, and now felt so much better. Whoa, thanks. I then looked over at Marvin and knew that he needed a place to call his home. I went out and got the necessary materials to do just that for him. I made sure to make it themed around a skeleton and even added bone blocks just for him. There you go, Marvin. I hope you like it.
Whoa, a home? Thanks, man. This means a lot.
Marvin ran inside, excited. Now I need to find that laboratory.
Did you say laboratory? I know of one nearby, but it's not friendly, Fozo.
At this point, I don't think I have a choice. Can you help and point me in the right direction? On days 17 to 18, I followed the blacksmith's instructions and found an evil-looking lab. Yeah, I think this is the place. I heard wings flattering around and quickly was able to spot some bats. Oh no, they found it. After a second glance, I realized they weren't alone. They were fighting minions? What in the world?
Yes, my minions! Attack these intruders and show them no one can mess with the world's #1 villain!
I watched as the minions worked together and took down bats one by one. I have to help. I rushed in and started to attack the bats, which caught their leader by surprise.
What the?
After a bit of back and forth, I was able to fully take them down with the minions' help. Ha! Talk about teamwork. What? One small minion charged in and started to attack me with a banana. Hey, cut it out.
Minions, stop! Why did you help us, Beast?
Because those vampires are pure evil.
Yes, they came here trying to find the moon fragment that I had.
Wait, did you say had?
Correct! I wanted to use it to take the moon. But now all I care about is taking down this stupid scientist that stole the fragment from me.
Look, if I can help you find the scientist, can I keep the moon fragment?
I guess so. But be warned, werewolf. It will be hard because the scientist that took it from me was none other than Dr. Frankenstein himself.
On days 19 to 20, we arrived at a large, evil mansion. Lightning was being shot all around it. What is going on?
We must hurry!
The three of us made it to the main entrance, but it was locked. Great, now what?
Banana!
The minion pulled out a banana launcher and burst through the front. Okay, we stormed in, only to see a main experiment room with a hole destroyed through a wall. There he was, Dr. Frankenstein.
I know what you're after. My moon fragment. Well, I used it already for something incredible. I created life.
Oh no, what did you do?
Now I will be known as the greatest villain alive.
I don't think so. That takes care of him. Good luck, werewolf. You want to find that moon fragment, you're going to have to find that monster.
Gru and his minion both left. Hey, wait! Come on. I looked out of the hole, and I knew that I needed to follow the trail. On days 21 to 25, I was following the trail throughout the nearby forest until I found a village that was under attack. Is this the monster's doing? I looked past the villager, only to see a large green beast with the moon fragment attached to its head.
Destroy!
Oh no, he was roaming around, destroying homes and attacking the innocent villagers as he wished.
Someone get this stupid green freak out of here!
I better go help. I ran in and slashed at the monster. Stop what you're doing. Frankenstein's monster, though, didn't listen and began to rush at me. Oh no, he hit me, and his brute strength by itself hurt a lot. I tried my best to slash through and even bite at him, but soon realized that he wasn't taking any damage because he was already dead. Oh no! I was doing my best trying to knock him back, but at the end of the day, I knew that this was a losing fight. That is, when I saw a lightning storm going off on a mountaintop nearby. Wait a minute, lightning! I had an idea and started to run off towards the mountain, while Frankenstein's monster was closely behind, chasing after me. On days 26 to 29, I was running with the undead monster right behind me.
Get back here!
We kept on running until we were on the top of a mountain. Lightning was still shooting around. I hope this works. I hit him one last time, right into a lightning bolt. Yes! This caused his defeat immediately, and from it dropped the third moon fragment. I went over and picked it up. How-woo! This caused the storm to clear and the moon to change again. My curse was weaker. I grew larger and I gained 5 more hearts. I noticed that now I had a special ability that allowed me to throw moon rocks. Sweet. On days 30 to 32, I made it back to base and even brought the villagers back with me.
Oh, nice. More friends.
I made sure to get enough materials to build them up some nice homes to stay in. After I finished that, I also made them a farm that was much better than the ones they had before. I hope you guys like it.
Thank you, you hideous, disgusting beast, you. We will help farm for your base. Just like don't eat us or whatever.
Yeah, I won't. As I was finishing up with them, I heard someone scream. I ran over, only to see Marvin being escorted out of our home by a group of monster hunters. Oh goodness, I have to save him. On days 33 to 35, I followed Marvin's screams until I was able to find a large monster hunter outpost. I snuck my way inside the entry room and saw a chest being forced into a cell. What gives?
All right, we're done here. Let's eat.
The monster hunters left, and I went over to investigate. I looked at the chest and knew that something felt different. Just then, it jumped. Ah! Oh my goodness, you're alive! Because of my scream, the monster hunters got alerted and charged back in.
Werewolf! Get him!
They rushed in and used their silver weapons against me. This hurt a lot, but with my increase in strength, I was definitely overpowering them. I took the last one down. I was able to free the living chest. Well, it's nice to meet you too, Chester. My name is Fozo. Wait, you saw them take a skeleton up to the main floor? Can you show me where they took him? My new chest friend led the way. Don't worry, Marvin. We are coming. On days 36 to 38, Chester brought me deeper inside of the Monster Hunter's outpost. We reached a main room upstairs, and I could see Marvin up ahead. Marvin!
These men, they're evil.
I walked forward to free him, but a large monster hunter dropped from above. Oh no.
So it's true. A monster, a beast, dares break into my home?
Now you know how it feels. The lead monster hunter charged in and began to attack. He had a large mace that dealt lots of damage to me. Every slash hurt a ton. I knew I wasn't only fighting for me, but now my new friends. One last moon throw, and the lead monster hunter was down. Take that. Upon his death was a note that was left on the floor. I picked it up, and it read,
"Hey boss, we have information that one of the biggest beasts yet has one of those moon pieces, the Kraken."
So, the Kraken holds the next moon fragment? I wonder where that is. I went over to Marvin and let him out of his cage. Come on, buddy. It's time to come back home. On days 39 to 41, I brought both Marvin and Chester back to base.
Hey, Fozo, I really appreciate you saving me. You didn't have to, and it means a lot.
Of course. You are my friend, and friends will always be there for each other. What the? I looked over and saw one of the villagers afraid of Chester.
A nice little chest dog thing. Here, take this treat.
The villager nervously threw him down a carrot, and Chester was happy. All right, settle down, boy. I think it's time I make you a home too. I went over next to my house and built up a nice small chest home right next to mine. Right after that, I also upgraded my den a bit. I was getting bigger and knew that I was gonna need more room for myself. There you go. And from the looks of things, Chester liked his new place.
Fozo! Glad you made it back. Things are getting out of hand. The vampires, they've been causing more and more problems by the day.
I know, but thankfully, I found out where the next moon fragment is. It lies with the Kraken.
Well, if that's the case, then say goodbye. That monster is far too powerful.
We don't really have a choice, do we? The blacksmith agreed.
I could help bring you over to the Kraken's homeland, the Deadly Tides. But just know, this is a death wish.
On days 42 to 44, Ironbeard agreed to help me, but first tasked me with getting the necessary materials for a special type of fire blaster. I followed his instructions and found a nearby cave. From there, I was able to find a special type of ore inside of it. I think this is the stuff. I mined it all up and headed back up towards a shoreline that we were supposed to meet back up at. As I arrived, I witnessed him putting the final touches on a cool ship to set sail in.
Hop aboard!
I did, and gave the blacksmith the necessary materials. From there, he was able to craft me a special gassed fire blaster.
Yep, this beast is weak to fire, so, you know, fire weapon.
Awesome! Let's set sail. We sailed far out across the waters until all of it around us started to turn red. Is this?
Yep, the deadly tides.
We kept sailing forward, and I heard loud noises coming from deep below the surface. That's just the ocean, right? We then looked ahead and saw the moon fragment sitting on a pillar in front of us. Just then, a rumbling began to surround the area, and with the next thing I knew, I was face to face with the giant Kraken. On days 45 to 47, the Kraken let out a loud screech and began to attack us. It had long and powerful tentacles that hurt a lot. On top of that, it would shoot out dangerous water blasts at me. Ah! I did my best to avoid its attacks and knew we had to take this thing down.
The fire blaster! Use it!
Right. I ran over and took it out. I shot out powerful fire blasts at the Kraken's tentacles, but each of my hits weren't doing enough damage.
The core, Fozo! Aim for the core!
Its core? I did as the blacksmith said and aimed right at its center. I shot the blast out and it was a direct hit. This caused the Kraken to surrender and submerge back down below the ocean. We did it. But sadly, I spoke too soon because out of nowhere, a vampire bat flew in and took the moon fragment. Hey, that's mine.
Not anymore. Vein-Stalker will be pleased with me.
On days 48 to 51, I had left Ironbeard behind while chasing after the vampire. I followed my scent until I reached a huge vampire hideout. Is this Vein-Stalker's home? There were bats everywhere. Thankfully, though, they were sleeping. Now is my chance. I snuck through, trying to find the vampire that stole the moon fragment.
Count Vein-Stalker, sir.
Oh no, there he was, in front of a large coffin. Just then, a huge rumbling took place, and the coffin shot open.
You dare disturb my slumber?
It's important, sir. I thought you would want this.
He handed the moon fragment over to Vein-Stalker. No!
Excellent work. As long as they do not have all of these, their curse shall never be broken.
I have to get that back.
Wait, we are not alone. Show yourself.
Oh no.
You, Fozo, is it? You have been a real pain to my mission.
I don't care. Us werewolves have done nothing wrong. What you're doing, it's not right.
You think I care? How naive. How pathetic.
Vein-Stalker charged in, and we both began to fight. I used everything I had on him, but with one magical attack, I felt so weak. I was already down to a couple of hearts.
Once your curse is finished, you'll be a very strong vampire. Send him to the dungeons.
On days 52 to 56, I looked around at the cage I was inside of and knew there was no way I could break these blocks. No, I'm done for. Just then, I heard a very familiar sound. Is that bones rattling? I turned around just to see Marvin right outside of my cage.
Yeah, don't be too surprised. Come on.
He unlocked my cage and let me out. Why did you come back for me?
All of my life, Fozo, I've ran away from things just like some coward. Well, after all you did to save me, not anymore. It's time to face this together.
Thank you, buddy. You have no idea how much this means.
Of course. Now let's go. We need to run.
On days 57 to 61, Marvin and I were escaping Vein-Stalker's base as fast and carefully as we could. We noticed a few vampire bats taking guard, but thankfully, we were easily able to avoid them. The coast was almost clear until I saw it. The moon fragment.
Come on!
Knowing I couldn't leave without it, I made my decision quickly. I ran over and thankfully, I was able to pick it up. Yes! Because of this, I gained 5 more hearts. I let out a loud howoo, causing the moon to become fuller and gained a new leaping ability. Because of my howl though, it alerted the nearby vampires. Oh no. Run! I ran and caught up with Marvin. We tried our best to find the best way out, but sadly, every time we would reach an exit, it was blocked off. We both turned around, only to see a large group of bats waiting for us.
Listen, Fozo, you need to run.
What? We both do. I'm not just gonna leave you.
Even if I make it out of here, those vampires will follow us back all the way to our home. I'll keep them distracted. You need to escape.
Marvin, this doesn't need to happen.
All of my life, I've been a coward. Just let me have this, Fozo. Let me save you.
He then charged into all of the bats. Marvin, no! Knowing he couldn't distract them for long, I turned away and ran. It wasn't long until Marvin was gone. I'm sorry, buddy. I promise these guys won't get away with this. On days 62 to 65, I was able to make it back to base. Because of my loss, I made Marvin a nice memorial right outside of his home. You ended up being braver than any of us. You were a hero. Just then, I heard a loud howl. Wait, no. Howls? I turned, only to see a small group of werewolves there. Hey, what are you guys doing here?
We're glad to have found this place. We had no idea someone as brave as you was fighting for our kind.
All of us werewolves are truly grateful.
Of course. I'm glad you guys found this place too. Knowing they needed homes, I went out and got the necessary materials to make them all a small camp to live in. I hope you guys like it.
This will do just fine. This is a lot more protected than our previous outpost. We were pushed out of that place by mummies.
Whoa, mummies? Why so?
They claimed they had a moon fragment and thought us werewolves had more. They were extremely power hungry.
Sounds familiar. So, those mummies have the last moon fragment?
Yeah, they were wicked strong and dangerous.
Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna go out and get that moon fragment so I can restore the moon and save us werewolves. On days 66 to 69, I followed the werewolves' instructions until I came across a destroyed-looking hideout. This has to be it. I looked around, but sadly, there was no trace of mummies to be found. Great. I felt defeated until I spotted a trail of destruction leading outside of it. Maybe they went this way. I followed the trail until I met an opening in the plains. There, standing off in the distance, was 2 mummies.
Our king won't be happy if we come back empty-handed. Yeah, thanks for pointing out the obvious.
Their king? Who is that? I followed the mummies close behind. Since it was nighttime, I was blending into my surroundings pretty well.
Werewolf! This one is big! Run!
Wait! Before I could do anything though, they ran away fast. Oh, come on! I then noticed a piece of their cloth fell onto the ground. Huh, maybe with my nose, I can find exactly where they live. On days 70 to 74, I used my nose and was roaming throughout the plains until I reached a desert. Oh, duh. Mummies always live here. I kept venturing throughout the sand until I arrived at a large, ancient desert tomb. I went inside, and just then, the entrance behind me closed off. I guess there's only one way to go.
Only the dead shall enter.
The ground then began to shake. What now? The ground below me gave out, and I fell all the way down into a small room. I looked throughout the room and saw lots of bones. Ugh. I'm guessing they also got trapped here. I have to find a way out. I walked forward into a hallway and noticed a room that led straight up. There were various platforms high up on the wall. It looks like I have to climb my way out. But how? Oh, wait, my new leap. Okay, let's test this bad boy out. I stepped back and ran forward and left. I did it again and again and again. Perfect. With one last leap, I found my way back up to the top of the room. On days 75 to 79, I entered the tomb room. On top of the ancient tomb, is that? It is the last moon fragment.
You have faced the trials. Now you will face the consequences.
Consequences? Just then, a bunch of mummies were summoned inside. Oh no. The mummies all charged in and began to attack. In numbers, their hits were adding up, but I knew I couldn't just give up now. I used my werewolf slash and moon throw on every single one of them. Haha, that was too easy. Is that the best you can do? Rumbling then began to fill the room, causing the large tomb in front of me to burst open. Standing before me was now the large, ancient Mummy King. Uh-oh. I think I may have spoke too soon.
Who dares trespass my kingdom?
I have. You have taken something that belongs to us werewolves, the moon fragment. The Mummy King then charged at me, and with each hit, it dealt lots of damage. I tried my best to hit the undead king back, but to my surprise, it didn't do much at all. Ah, what gives? Our fight continued on. My attacks, though, were doing almost nothing to him. That is, when I jumped up and hit him directly in its exposed eye. From that one hit alone, I could tell the king was very hurt. So, that's his weak spot. Knowing this, I charged back in and made sure to do everything in my power to jump up and hit him again and again.
No!
I hit the king one last time and took it down for good. Ha! Take that! I then made my way over and picked up the final moon fragment. I let out my last howoo, which turned the moon back into a full moon. Because of this, I gained 10 hearts, and my curse was now completely gone. I did it! Just then, my vision started to become blurry until everything went white. On days 86 to 90, I looked around. Where am I? Just then, a werewolf landed right in front of me. Wait, brother?
That's right, Fozo.
And don't forget about me.
Marvin! Oh my goodness! I'm so happy to see you guys.
I'm happy to see you. Oh my, have you grown?
Yeah, I'm glad to see how strong you turned out to be.
I'm really trying, guys. Vein-Stalker, he's pure evil and he needs to be stopped.
Well, if anyone can stop him, I know it's you. I'm so proud of you. I always knew it would be you that revived our species.
Go out there, Fozo. Make us proud.
Just then, my vision was brought back to me, and I was back inside of the tomb room. I promise, guys, I will. On days 91 to 94, I returned back home to base.
Fozo, you've done it! The moon! Look! It's full again!
I know, just the way it should be. I couldn't have done it without your help, you know.
Of course. Don't mention it.
I looked out and saw all of my fellow werewolves there. They were all cured.
You did it, Fozo!
I feel great. You've done it. You have saved our species.
Not yet. If Vein-Stalker is still out there, we will always be in danger. It's time I take him down for good. All of my werewolves agreed, and in unison, we all howled at the moon. Ahoo! Yep, we are stronger, all right. It's time, everyone. Let's fight back and take down those vampires for good. On days 95 to 99, my fellow werewolves and I rushed through the forest. If we wanted to take these guys down, it had to be tonight. We reached the clearing, and in front of us was Vein-Stalker's house, guarded by a ton of his vampires. All right, men, charge! We started to run, and the vampires all transformed into their bat selves. We clashed in battle. The other werewolves fought much stronger now that they had been cured. The vampires fought and fought, but at the end of the day, they were not strong anymore.
Fozo, Veinstalker!
I turned, only to see Veinstalker floating at his entrance, watching.
You handle him. We got this.
Just be careful. While they continued the fight outside, I ran inside of Veinstalker's base to finally face him. On day 100, I was inside of Veinstalker's main throne room. Veinstalker, this is over.
Over? You stupid mutt. This will never be over. Us vampires will prevail.
No! We charged in and both started to fight. With my brute strength, I was able to deal lots of damage. But sadly, Veinstalker's magic hurt me a lot. Ah!
Such a shame it is. Your brother died for you. Just to what? Fail?
Veinstalker, though, then shot me with a powerful attack, and I felt so weak. No! Just as Veinstalker was about to deal his finishing blow, the blacksmith jumped in and shot him.
Whoa! Say hello to my gun. I made it to specifically kill you, vampire.
Blacksmith, you're here. Let's do this together. With the two of us, it was clear that Veinstalker didn't stand a chance.
No!
No! And just like that, Veinstalker was down, now giving us werewolves a chance to live in peace. On day 1, I spawned in as a Minecraft dweller. I was with my brother, hunting down any players who dare disturb our home.
Ah! Great job, brother. Soon, you can start guarding our woods on your own.
I'll do whatever it takes to protect our home. As I said this, my brother was blasted back by a powerful explosion. I looked over to see the blast had come from a player with modded items I had never seen before.
That's right, Dweller. We upped our game with the strongest mods possible. And with them, we are going to wipe all of you dwellers out of our world for good!
I watched in horror as he and the other players shot out more attacks, and everything I loved was completely destroyed. No! No one messes with my home! I ran up and tried to slash into the player, but nothing worked?
Huh. You're gonna have to be a lot stronger than that!
He shot down an explosion right at my feet, sending me flying back into a wall.
Ah! Hurry, brother! We're not powerful enough to stop them! Run!
On day 2, my brother and I began to rush down the cave to get away from the men. However, one of the players sent out a blast that turned the area into lava? Ah! These mods are insane. We had no choice but to continue running through and use the few platforms left to jump across. We dashed down the nearest tunnel until eventually arriving at a dead end. Oh no!
I've been waiting for this.
Stay away from my brother!
My brother dashed in front of me, blocking the attack from the officer. My brother was able to land a final hit, but not before getting slashed by his sword.
Ah!
No, brother!
Little brother, you have to stop those players. If you don't, all of us dwellers will be gone. Show them this world is our home too. Do it for me.
No! No! Before I could even think of what to do, their fight had destroyed the cave's walls, causing lava to spill in. I had nowhere to go, but on the floor was the officer's sword. All right, maybe I can use this. I picked it up, causing my dweller body to change as I upgraded. I gained 5 more hearts, and my claws became way stronger than before. Whoa, these modded items make me stronger? On day 3, I used my new ability to burst through the nearest wall before the lava could reach me. This power, it feels amazing. Only my brother lived to see it. Suddenly, the silence was broken as I heard someone calling out.
Help!
Huh? I ran down the tunnel to see a large cavern with a mine shaft. And there, on one of the bridges, was a sheep dweller surrounded by MPO miners.
Time to die, you beast!
I have to do something. I jumped down and slashed into one of them.
What the?
Stay away from him.
You're that dweller that's supposed to be dead! Get him first!
The others began to rush in as I fought back as best as I could, but there were just too many of them.
Hold on!
He ran up behind the miners and sent out a horrifying screech, stunning them all.
Go! Hit the bridge!
I did as he said, slashing at the wood under them, causing them all to fall to their death. Nice teamwork.
I've never seen a dweller like you before.
Yeah, I grew stronger from a modded item.
Really? I found one of those over this way. Follow me!
On day 4, the sheep dweller led me to a village on the surface.
Ah, what a beautiful morning. Ah, monsters! Everyone run!
So, why did you bring me here? Am I supposed to eat these guys?
No? Well, I guess we could. But the real reason was for that.
I looked over and saw that in the center was another modded item. Sweet. With enough of those, I'll definitely stand a chance against the modded organization. We began to run towards it when I suddenly heard a bell ringing out.
Formation B!
I looked around as multiple villager guards came running up, completely surrounding us. What the?
Behold, the village guard dwellers! You must leave at once!
No way! I'm not going anywhere without that item. The guards got angry and rushed in to attack. But without hesitation, I blasted the first one back through a house.
Ah! Why?
Yeah? Who's next?
Wait! Let's talk about this. We'll do a trade.
These guys don't know any better, man. Let's do what he says.
All right. What do you want? On day 5, I left the village with the guard as he brought me over to a large temple.
Yes, this structure just came out of nowhere. But legend says it holds the most beautiful enchanted emerald within.
Must have been all those stupid mods the MPO added. All right, if I get you that emerald, can I have that other item? The guard nodded. So I slowly started to make my way inside the temple. Once there, I saw a large chamber full of emeralds. And there at the center was the enchanted emerald gem. Haha, this'll be easy. I ran over and picked it up. But as soon as I did, something began to happen in the room. I guess I should have been more suspicious. Everything turned red around me as all of the water turned into lava? Wait, I'll put it back. I was about to set the emerald back down when I was suddenly blasted back by a modded blaze.
You thief! You will die in the flames for your crimes!
Multiple of them started to rain down fiery blasts at me as I made a break for the exit. However, one of them shot the bridge in front of me, making it collapse. Oh no! On day 6, I looked up to see that more blazes were spawning from the lava in front of me. Out of pure panic, I slashed out at the nearest one. And as he died, his body turned into blocks? Wait, that's how I get out of here. I leaped over to the platform and started to taunt the other blazes to come closer. Over here, you floating torch!
I will burn you where you stand, thief!
They rushed in close, but I slashed them out of the air, making more and more platforms with each kill. Ha ha! Finally, I made it to the other side and escaped the temple before any more of them could spawn. Now to get my reward. I made my way all the way back to the village and tossed over the enchanted emerald to the villager guard. I believe our deal is complete.
You actually did it! Well done, Dweller. You can certainly... what the...
Suddenly, as the villager picked up the emerald, his body began to change into a monstrous villager dweller? Wait, the emerald was cursed? He shot out a powerful beam, recklessly destroying his own home.
Not another one! We're all going to die!
All of the villagers began to flee as the cursed dweller locked onto me. On day 7, the villager dweller rushed in to attack. His curse allowed him to blast out fire from his open mouth. Ah! Stop! I had no choice but to try and fight back. But whatever the emerald did to him made him completely resistant to my attacks. That's not good. He sprayed me again with his flames, taking me down to low hearts. But before he could land a final blow, he was blasted back by a crazy explosion.
Take it all down, boys. This village is the MPO's territory now.
I watched as the modded players began to run around the village, attacking everything in sight. Thankfully, though, this caused the villager dweller to rush up and attack them.
You die!
Now's my chance to grab that item. I ran over and picked it up, causing my body to upgrade. I gained 5 more hearts as my head and jaw stretched out, giving me even more stronger abilities.
Hey, there's another one.
I looked over and saw that the players had captured the other dweller and were coming to get me next. Oh, no you don't. I began to blast them with my new attack, which was able to wipe them out with ease.
What? You found our special modded relics? No, no!
So, these items are special. Get back here! On day 8, I ran after the player, but the mods made them much faster than me. Thankfully, though, the sheep dweller came out of nowhere and hit them back.
You ain't going anywhere!
Yeah, now tell us about these relics.
All right. Out of all the mods we added to the server, there were 6 lost relics that no one could find. Whoever collects them all can be an unstoppable force, but we'll make sure that you'll never find the others.
The players suddenly began to try and teleport away, but before they could, I took them down with one final hit.
Nice work! And if that guy was telling the truth, we only need to find 4 more relics.
Finding them can make me strong enough to take them down. We have no time to lose. But as we went to leave, a lightning bolt struck down right in front of us. I looked up and saw that floating there was another player?
That isn't a player! That's Herobrine!
Yes, and I came here to remind you that you're not the most powerful mob in this world. I am!
Well, if you're another mob, we should work together. Those players are out of control.
You think I need your help? Ha! You're more of an idiot than I thought.
In a flash, another bolt of lightning struck down as I was teleported out of the village. When my eyes opened again, I saw that I had been placed in a massive void maze.
You are now in my domain, Dweller. I am the one that players fear. You are nothing.
A powerful lightning storm began to crash down all around me, forcing me to run deeper in. Each strike was extremely deadly, and I knew that just one hit would take me down for good. I have to find a way out of here. I rounded around the corner and saw a long pit that fell right into the void. But hovering above it were sets of flashing platforms? Guess I don't have a choice. I began to leap between the platforms, timing my jumps each time they switched sides. Come on. I was about to make it to the other side when a bolt struck down on the final one. From it alone, I was brought down to extremely low hearts. No, I can't die here. I have to keep my promise to my brother. More lightning strikes were closing in on me, and I was about to be done for until I felt something pull my attention to a crack in the maze wall. I blasted out at it, shattering the wall to another pathway. With it cleared, I was able to run down as fast as I could until I saw a portal. That must be a way out of here. However, as I ran towards it, I saw a strange map off to the side, and that same feeling from before pulled me towards it. There must be something important on this.
Impossible!
Spinning around, I saw that Herobrine was floating above me again.
How did a fool like you find the exit? I won't let you leave!
He began to blast down crazy abilities as I made a break for the portal. But just when I got close, his attack struck me from behind, sending me flying through. On days 11 to 12, I woke up in a large underground hideout. Huh? How did I get here?
Hey, you're alive!
I turned around to see my sheep dweller friend running up to me. Did you bring me here?
Yeah, we found you passed out on the surface, so we brought you to this dweller safe house.
Wait, we? Just then, I sensed something behind me and looked up to see the villager dweller.
Thank you. I see now. Players evil.
Then I guess we're all on the same page. I looked around our new home and saw that there were 6 ancient pedestals hidden away. I placed down the 2 modded relics I'd found so far, and because of this, the pedestals began to light up.
Whoa, sweet! Hey, I was wondering, how did you get away from Herobrine?
I felt like someone was looking out for me, guiding me somehow. Oh, that reminds me. I took out the map I had found in Herobrine's domain. This has to lead to somewhere important. I left the hideout, following the map's coordinates until I came across an ominous-looking cave entrance. I guess this is the place? I was about to walk inside when an extremely fast creature rushed by me, hitting me back. Ah!
There's only room for one dweller here.
I looked up to see that standing in the entrance of the cave was a cave dweller. On days 13 to 14, the dweller rushed in to attack. Gah! Hey, slow down! I don't want to fight you!
No! You must have come here for the games, and I know only another dweller could beat me.
What are you talking about? He didn't answer though, and came in hitting me again, when suddenly an attack was shot in between us. I looked over to see that now coming out of the cave was a king skeleton.
There will be no fighting on the Scare Game grounds. Please, contestants, come in.
Hesitantly, the other dweller and I followed the skeleton inside to a moonlit cave full of other scary mobs.
The Scare Games can finally be underway. The rules are simple. The contestant who scares the most mobs during the night will be the winner and the new owner of this relic orb.
He turned to the side, revealing the next lost relic. I knew something would be here. Seems like I gotta win this game then.
The game starts now!
All of us mobs rush out of the cave in search of creatures to scare. I quickly found a cow in a field with tall grass. An easy target. I began to use my hunting abilities to stalk up closer to it. But just before I jumped out,
That's one!
No! This guy's a pro! He's gonna be the one I'll have to keep up with. On days 15 to 16, I continued to stalk around the area and was finally able to sneak up on a chicken. Rah! Haha! That's 1 for me! I hunted more mobs through the night, quickly gaining more and more points. All right, that's 9. I wonder how many points the other dweller has. As I said this though, I saw another creature up ahead, a villager. This'll be easy. I quietly snuck up above and jumped down right in front of them. Boom! Yeah! Out of fear, the mob shot out a crossbow at me. Ah! Wait a minute. You're not a villager.
I'm a pillager, you idiot, and you're dead meat.
Huh? He whistled out into the air, calling a group of more pillagers to come out of nowhere and surround me. Oh no. They all began to fire at me rapidly as I had nowhere to go. I gotta get out of here. I slashed out at one of them, pushing him back and giving me an opening. I made a break for it, but the pillagers began to chase after me.
No one calls me a villager and gets away with it.
I'm sorry, okay? Is that what you want to hear? Just then, one of them shot out another arrow, hitting me and affecting me with slowness. No! They were about to catch up to me now, and I knew I was gonna be done for. But suddenly, a figure dropped down in between us. The cave dweller let out a terrifying roar that took out the head pillager.
Fall back! Fall back!
Thankfully, this scared them all away as they ran for their lives. Thanks for the...
Oh, I didn't do this for you. I just scored 12 points.
What? No! I lost? On day 17 to 18, I sadly walked back to the skeleton's cave, where everyone was waiting to hear who won.
And the winner of this Scare Games is the Cave Dweller!
Ha! You all never stood a chance!
He walked up to the king to collect his prize, when suddenly a powerful arrow shot out and hit him back. What the? we all turned to see the pillagers had tracked us down and brought a lot of backup.
You rotten monsters killed one of our own! All of you are gonna pay the price!
They began to charge in as the cave fell into complete chaos. All the mobs were fighting for themselves, and because of this, they were all being overwhelmed. Guys, we have to fight back together! I began to rush around the room and fight alongside the other mobs.
Whoa! Listen to the Dweller! Fight together!
They did as he said, as we started to push back the pillagers from the cave. I then looked across and saw that the cave dweller was being cornered.
You! Haha, I'm gonna enjoy this.
I have to do something. I quickly dashed over and shot out my poison spit, finally taking him down. With that, the pillagers ran away for good.
My goodness, Dweller! We would have never survived without you!
I hate to say it, but he's right. Who cares about the stupid games? You deserve that relic.
Really? Thanks. I happily agreed and picked up the next lost relic. This caused my body to grow as my arms elongated into a much stronger, monstrous form. Awesome. On days 19 to 21, I began to lead the scary mobs back to my base, as the caves were no longer safe for them. But along the way, I felt a pull towards a nearby dark forest. It's just like when I was in the maze. I have to follow it. I told the others where to find my home and quickly headed off into the forest. It wasn't long until I was deep within the trees, and in my rush, I had completely gotten lost. Which way did I come from again? I looked back to where I felt the pull and saw brother. I ran towards him, sprinting out into a clearing. What's going on? How are you here?
Little brother, it's so
great
to see you.
Huh? My brother walked closer to me, but as he did, the illusion began to fade as I saw the ghost's true form. He was possessed. Ah! I tried to run away, only to bump into another one.
It's okay. Don't worry. We just want to play.
Yes, we count and you hide.
They both flew over and faced a nearby tree and began to count.
1, 2.
Okay, forget this. I'm getting out of here. I began to dash through the forest at crazy speeds thanks to my upgraded form. But no matter how fast I ran, I just couldn't find an exit.
Ready or not, here we come.
I do not want to find out what they'll do to me if they find me. I better hide. On days 22 to 26, I found an abandoned structure in the woods and quickly hid inside. But it wasn't long before the ghost came creeping into the area.
Where are you?
One of them was coming closer to the building, but I had an idea. I slashed out at a tree through the window, drawing their attention to it. As he floated over to look, I noticed a light coming from the trees. An exit! I made a break for it, only to be cut off by the other ghost.
There you are. Looks like you're lost.
And what does that mean?
Oh, it's simple, really.
The two ghosts started to glow as their forms merged into a horrifying ghoul.
We get to eat you now!
Oh, come on! They slashed down at me, sending me flying back into the building. Ah! They rushed up and began to carve into it, breaking out chunks at a time to get to me. I gotta go! I ran to the back of the room, knowing that if I got hit again, I would be done for.
Come on, Dweller! You too scared to play with us?
Their words made me think back to all those days before, when my brother had to defend me against the MPO. If I were braver then, maybe he would still be alive. I won't let him down! The ghoul finally clawed their way through the building, and with no other choice, I stood my ground and sent out the most powerful attack I could, hitting them head on.
Gah!
I didn't let up and continued to barrage them with my abilities until they were forced to split apart again. There! See? I'm not scared.
That was fun.
Yeah, thanks for playing. Take this!
The ghost walked up to me, and as he touched me, I was granted a vision of a castle? What was that?
You're looking for the lost relics, right? The next one you need is there.
Wait, how did you... But before I could finish my sentence, the ghosts faded away. Okay, I really need to get out of this place. On days 27 to 29, I left the haunted forest, and with the knowledge the ghosts had given me, I found the castle from their vision.
Hear ye, hear ye! All citizens, please gather for the king's arrival!
I looked over and saw that all the players in the kingdom were watching their king as he walked through the street to his castle. And on his head was a powerful looking modded crown. That's the next modded relic. I have to get closer. While the guards were distracted, I quietly made my way past the main gate and hid away in a nearby alley. I continued to sneak my way around the kingdom, looking for any chance to jump out to swipe the crown. Maybe I could ambush him when suddenly a loud explosion shot up next to me. Wah! Wait, fireworks?
The monsters within our gates! Protect the king!
Knights rushed in and began to escort the king to the castle. Hey, give me that! But as I tried to rush up, I was hit on the head from behind. My vision started to fade as I passed out. On days 30 to 32, I woke up inside of a cage in the kingdom's dungeon. What the?
So, we still down for tacos tonight?
That's a no-go. My mom's making dino nuggets.
Hey, get me out of here!
No way, you monster! The only reason you're not dead is because the MPO wanted to kill you themselves. You'll see them shortly.
No, I need to get that relic before they get here. I slashed out at the cage, easily breaking my way out. But with the drawbridge up, I had to find another way to escape. Here goes nothing. I began to jump between the rocks, using my upgraded speed to make the large jumps.
Whoa! Shoot him down!
The players began to shoot out arrows at me, trying to knock me off the platforms. But I knew that I couldn't fail here. I made the final dash to the other side and jumped right in front of the knights. Now, which one of you is gonna tell me where the king is?
Oh, come on, man!
You better start talking.
Okay. There's a secret tunnel that way. It'll lead you right to the king.
On days 33 to 35, I made my way through the secret tunnel, which opened up right into the throne room. And there on the throne was the king.
How did you get out?
More player knights began to charge into the room to protect him, but they were no use against my abilities. Give up, king. All I want is that crown.
Well, you can have it. Over my dead body!
I ran up to take him down. However, I was cut off by a massive knight that fell down in between us.
The MPO's modern now, Joker. Say hello to the King's Guard!
His guard started to slam into me with his sword, as I quickly realized he was much stronger than anything else in the kingdom. I tried to fight back with my abilities, but no matter what I did, he would just charge right through and hit me again. Ah!
So long, Dweller. This world will soon be ours.
I looked around the room for anything I could to stop his guard, and that's when I noticed the chandelier. That'll work. Hey, come and get me. It charged in to attack again, but when it got close, I jumped back and fired my slash up at the chandelier. It came crashing down, taking down the guard with it. Yes.
Wait. We can talk about this. I can make you rich.
Yeah, we're done talking. I easily took down the king, making him drop the modded relic crown. After picking it up, my body began to upgrade again. I gained 5 more hearts, and my hunting senses increased to giving me brand new abilities. Whoa, sweet. On days 36 to 39, I made my way out of the player's kingdom and back to the dweller hideout. There, I saw that the cave dweller and other mobs had made it safely.
Hey, you're back! This place is starting to get pretty crowded.
I think I have a way to fix that. I got to work, and with everyone's help, we dug out rooms in the hideout for everyone to stay in. And I built mine right next to the other relics. That reminds me, I placed down the newest relic I'd gained, causing 2 more of the pedestals to light up. All right, just 2 more to go. But I wish you were still here to see all this, brother. We're getting so close to stopping those players.
Dweller, see evil men planning something.
What? Where? Where were they? After following the villagers' directions, I made my way to the coast, where I saw a player-built research lab off in the water, and on it was the modded player's leader.
Doctor, give me some good news.
The research is coming along swimmingly. After a few more wiki searches, your plans will be ready.
Don't make me wait any longer. I don't need someone else failing me today.
With that, he stormed off as the scientist went back into his lab. I have to see what they're planning. It can't be good. After sneaking my way in, I noticed that there were no other players here. All right, this should be easy. But as I walked forward, I stepped on a pressure plate, causing rows of deadly lasers to appear down the hallway. Of course it's trapped. I began to slowly maneuver around the lasers to get past, but when I got to the end, the path was completely blocked.
Look up.
Huh? I looked past the lasers and saw that another dweller was trapped in a cage.
Didn't you hear me? Look up.
I did as he said and saw a space where I can hit the mechanism shooting the lasers. Oh, I shot at them with my abilities, breaking them with ease. Sweet. I then went over and slashed into the dweller's cage, freeing him.
Thank you. But hey, if you help me take out that stupid player who trapped me, I could give you some information that'll be worth your while.
Sounds like a deal. On days 45 to 47, the Cuckoo Clock Dweller went deeper within the lab, finally coming across the scientist in a room full of dinosaurs?
I knew you would come here, Dweller, but no matter how much firepower you have, nothing will stop the MPO from taking over!
We'll see about that. You guys kill my brother, and I won't let you get away with this.
You won't have a chance! Once I finish my research of these dinosaur mods, we will know how to tame them! And with an army this powerful, you will be...
Suddenly, one of the dinosaurs broke out and killed the scientist. Whoa, looks like he didn't tame them yet. But because of this, something began to happen to the lab. Oh no, he had a self-destruct sequence?
Run!
We began to dart back towards the entrance, but when we made it to the laser-filled hall, everything was breaking, causing lasers to shoot out rapidly around the room. We gotta go! We continued to run through the dangerous hallway, but with more explosions and lasers, I was knocked back and taken down to low hearts. I'm not gonna make it!
There.
I looked over and saw that he found a cracked wall off to the side. He charged into it, breaking it down to the outside. Nice! With that, we safely made it back out and made it far away from the exploding lab. Great work! Now, what was that information you were talking about?
Right. I know where a lost relic is. Come on, follow me.
On days 48 to 52, I followed the Cuckoo Clock to a ruined nether portal. Oh no, don't tell me.
Come on, the nether isn't that scary.
We quickly finished the portal and lit it, and as we went through, we walked out into the nether, surrounded by piglins.
Hey, what are you two doing here?
Oh, shut it, Terrence! It's just some dwellers.
Huh? I guess it's all right here. Just then, I heard a noise and looked up to see a giant lava dragon? Whoa!
Yep, and that's our target. It's the guardian of one of those lost relics, and I bet it's not gonna be happy to part with it, so good luck.
Seriously? Guess I'm doing this myself. I wasted no time running after the dragon, having to navigate all around the nether just to keep up. But eventually, she landed high up in her den, across a lake of lava? I had no choice but to continue, leaping between the netherrack as I went. But then, something hit me back from beneath the lava. Ah!
You thought you could escape us?
I looked up to see the same modded blazes from the Emerald Temple. I beat you once. Don't think I won't do it again. However, a lot more of them rose up from the lake. Just kidding? On days 53 to 56, I continued to leap between the rocks as the blazes shot up at me with everything they had. I fought off a few with my abilities, but it felt like the more I took down, more would just spawn from below. Oh, come on! I was finally getting closer to the dragon's den until one of their blasts came right at me. Wow! I dodged, causing it to shoot into the den. That's not good.
Who dare disturbs my slumber?
Wait, I can explain. It's this.
Shut it, you stupid torch!
The dragon began to blast the blazes out of the sky, allowing me to sneak up to its den. Once there, I saw the next modded relic on the other side of the cave. Okay, I just have to sneak towards it and...
What do you think you're doing?
She began to focus her attacks on me, blasting into me with deadly flames. Ah! I fought back with all my abilities, trying to use my speed to my advantage. I ran in and struck her with a powerful slash, making her extremely weak.
Ah! No dweller should be that strong.
That's your fault for underestimating me. I went in for a final blow, when suddenly a powerful bolt of lightning launched me back. Ah! And there, appearing in between us, was Herobrine?
I've let you run around long enough playing hero, Dweller. This ends now!
He turned around and blasted the dragon with a strange attack, causing her to grow stronger? You've got to be kidding me! On days 57 to 59, I was now face to face with an empowered, modded dragon. She recklessly charged forward, shoving me back with its fire and almost knocking me into the lava. I quickly dashed out of the way though, and tried to gain some space to fight back. But no matter what I did, she would just fly in and hit me again. I was knocked down to low hearts and knew that if I was hit again, I would be done for. I have to think of something. Quick! I looked over and saw that Herobrine was just watching the battle unfold.
This is what you get for trying to overpower me.
Oh yeah? Hey, overgrown lizard, come get me! My words enraged the dragon as she charged in for another attack. But this time, I ran towards Herobrine and dashed out of the way at the last second.
Wait, what are you?
The dragon slammed into the cave wall, causing it to collapse as rubble flew down and crushed both her and Herobrine. Yes! Because of this, I was easily able to walk over and grab the lost relic. As my body upgraded once again, I gained 5 more hearts and grew monstrous wings. All right.
I won't allow this.
Herobrine, please! I don't want to hurt you. Those players are gonna destroy us all if we don't work together. I know us dwellers have never done this before. We're known as the scary mobs. But if we don't all unite now, all of us will be wiped out from this world. What do you say?
You're right. I'm sorry. I will help you destroy the MPO.
On days 60 to 63, I made it back to my base in the overworld with Herobrine. Once there, I saw that the Cuckoo Clock Dweller had already made a home. I made sure to take some time to make Herobrine a room as well. And then I went over and placed the 5th relic on his pedestal. Just one more to go. I just hope it'll be enough to take down the modded players.
You're going to need the strongest of the relics against them.
Wait, you know where it is?
I do, but you're not gonna like it.
I left the base and followed Herobrine's directions to the base of a large mountain. And there, at its peak, was the final lost modded relic. I'm almost there, brother. I began to dash up into the air, but just then, a lightning bolt came crashing down right in front of me. Whoa! I quickly tried to fly higher, but the storm was too much and sent me crashing back down to the ground with another strike. I guess it's time for plan B. On days 64 to 68, I began to quickly move up the mountain, staying lower to the ground. It was much easier to see the strikes of lightning coming from above, but the storm was relentless. I kept pushing forward further up the mountain path, until eventually coming to an overhang, where I was safe. Just a little bit longer to go. But as I went to dash out of safety, I saw a creeper in the path. I'm not scared of you. But as I said this, a bolt struck the creeper, causing it to be charged. No. It ran up and sent out a massive explosion, sending me flying back. I then looked around and saw that multiple other ones were making their way towards me. I flew forward, slashing at them as I went, keeping me out of their blast radius. Stay out of my way. Finally, I made it to the peak of the storming mountain, and there waiting for me was the relic. However, the creepers were still closing in, and before I could grab it, another bolt struck the item. Its electricity shot out, combining it with the nearby creepers to form a giant one. It instantly let out a blast that flung me back, nearly taking me out in a single hit. Ah! It was about to rush up for another explosion, but thankfully, I was hit back into cover.
Shush!
What the? I turned around to see that another dweller was the one who saved me. Why did you?
I said, shush! We've got to sneak away before that thing catches on. Run!
On days 69 to 73, the giant creeper continued to let out deadly explosions as the Palehound and I made a break for it. We charged down the mountain, dodging the exploding attacks as we went. Wait, I can't leave. I need to...
You really want to stay with that nuke with the short fuse? We can think of a plan after we get to safety.
Just then, another attack exploded in front of us, causing the path to be destroyed. Hold on. Without hesitation, I picked up the other dweller and flew us across the gap. From there, we were finally able to escape the giant creeper as the Palehound led me to his hideout in the mountain.
I don't know what you were thinking back there. That creeper is way too strong.
It's because it took the relic that I need. I won't be able to stop the modded player organization without it.
Don't get me started on those idiots. All right. If you really need to stop the creeper, then we have to get the one thing those walking time bombs are afraid of.
And what's that? The dweller led me away from the mountain, all the way to the entrance of a jungle biome?
A creeper's worst fear is a cat! Thankfully, those idiot players added a ton of mods, and one adds a ton of those little furballs in here.
So, how do we find one? Just then, I heard something in the trees and looked up to see... There!
Ah! Hurry! Don't let it get away!
On days 74 to 77, the Palehound and I rushed after the cat as it escaped from us into the jungle. It used its much smaller size to weave through the trees and avoid our sight. Where'd it go?
Hold on. This kind of hunting is my specialty.
He sniffed into the air, thankfully finding its scent.
This way!
We followed it until he burst through the tree line to see this part of the jungle was completely destroyed. What happened here? We carefully searched around until we saw the cat hiding under some rubble.
Gotcha!
Please don't take me. I just want to be left alone.
What? What are you talking about?
Those players came and took all of my kind. I barely escaped, and I won't be tamed like them.
She lunged out and slashed at me, pushing me back. Ow! She then tried to make a break for it, but the other dweller cut her off. Look, just listen. We're working to try and stop those modded players, and we can't do it without your help.
Really? I promise. I'll do anything to get back at those guys.
Perfect. Now we have a trap to set.
On days 78 to 80, all three of us made our way back to the base of the mountain. We spent some time to dig out the perfect pit trap for the creeper, and after, my friends went and hid nearby.
Now, you just need to draw him out, and then our feline friend here will do the rest.
All right, here goes nothing. I began to shoot out my abilities around the area, making sure to hit the foot of the mountain, sending rubble flying around. Would be a shame if a creeper snuck up on me right now.
Really? That's the best you got?
Well, what do you... But before I could finish my sentence, a loud, thunderous explosion shot out nearby, hitting me back. There, jumping out into the clearing, was the giant creeper. Now! The little cat jumped out from cover, right behind it.
Boo!
Because of this, the creeper began to freak out and slowly back up towards our trap. Come on, just a little further. But suddenly, a lightning bolt crashed down near the cat, sending them flying back. Oh no! I quickly leapt into action, flying around and then slashing into the creeper, pushing him into our trap. His weight crumbled the weak ground beneath him, making him fall into a pit. With this, the two of us were able to unleash the full power of our attacks, and with nowhere to run, we were finally able to take the creeper down. Finally! I went to grab the relic, But out of nowhere, the modded player organization burst into the area.
Seize that dweller!
On days 81 to 85, I got ready to fight as the MPO officer came charging in to attack. But before I could react, I was hit from behind by a claw. Ah! Because of this, the officers were able to unload attacks onto me, taking me down to low hearts. No! I then looked over as the Pale Hound threw the final relic at the MPO leader's feet.
There you go! One lost relic. And now you better keep your end of the deal. Leave my mountain home alone!
Oh, yes, about that. I lied. You're coming with us, too!
I watched as the player blasted him back with a powerful attack, nearly taking him down. What? I wanted to run over and help, but the other officers struck me again. And because of this, I passed out. I woke up and found myself inside of a cage in the modded player's base. No, this can't be happening. I tried to strike out of the bars, but my attacks barely left a scratch.
It's no use!
Huh? I turned around to see that the Pale Hound had been put in the cage with me. I can't believe you. You were working for the players?
I thought I made a deal to save my home. Clearly I was wrong to trust them. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Let's just find a way out of here before someone notices. Attack with me. The Dweller walked up beside me, and together, we blasted at the bars. And with our combined strength, we burst through. Sweet. Now come on. The relic has to be around here somewhere. On days 86 to 90, we snuck around the player's base, making sure to hide from the wandering patrols of the officers. Stay close. We ran down the hall until coming across a window overlooking a ton of officers gathering around. And at the center was their leader.
All right, men. This is it. Soon, there will be no more mobs to stand in our way. Those stupid dwellers will be a thing of the past, and any other mobs will keep around for the funds! Now listen close. We have one good chance to take this creature out. Once we zero in on their base, we'll destroy everything and everyone in our path. So, who's with me?
All the officers began to cheer as they spread out throughout the base to gather their weapons. Oh no, if they find the base, then all my friends are done for.
We won't let that happen. Wait, I sense something powerful. This way!
I followed after him to another room, and inside were a pair of officers guarding the final relic. There it is, but how do we get to it?
Let me work my magic, and then you can slide in and grab the relic.
Before I could question him, he rushed forward and began taunting them.
What the? Get back here!
They both rushed after the Dweller, leaving me an opening to the item. I ran up and grabbed it, causing my body to grow in strength one final time. I now had 35 hearts and a powerful static boom attack I could use at will. Awesome! But just then, the Pale Hound ran back into the room.
I couldn't shake them!
You both got out? Back in your cages!
On days 91 to 94, the officers came charging in to attack. But because of my new upgrade, I let out a powerful blast that shocked their suits.
That's what is happening!
Come on, that won't stun them for long. We thankfully made it out of the player's base and rushed back to the Dweller hideout.
Oh, thank goodness you're back! Everyone thought the MPO had got you!
It's alright. They won't be able to stop me anymore. With that, I made sure to quickly build up a home for the Pale Hound in the base.
Whoa, thanks! I just don't feel like I deserved this. After all.
Don't mention it. You did what you had to protect your home. I understand. I then went over and placed down the final relic on its stand. And because of this, the whole chamber began to shake as a hidden passageway opened up to a series of tunnels?
Whoa! These tunnels go all throughout the underground! We could pop up anywhere we wanted in the overworld!
Oh yeah? Then that gives me an idea. Everyone, it's time to win our world back. On days 95 to 99, I went up to the surface and found the modded players marching out to find our base.
Ha! Would you look at this? The monster came right to us to surrender.
Yeah, not gonna happen. I'm here to end your control over this world and take it back.
Oh yeah? You and what army?
As he said this, the ground shook as my dweller friends came bursting out of the ground.
Surprise!
They began to slash into the officers and run away, pulling them in all different directions.
What the? Men, stay together!
I then used this opportunity to rush up and blast the leader with my new ability, stunning his mech. I looked over and saw that multiple officers had cornered the villager dweller and were about to take him down. Hold on! I flew over, and with a combination of my abilities, I was able to stun and slash them down.
Stupid players.
I continued to fly around and help out my other friends as we took each of the officers down one by one.
Yeah, and stay down!
Good one, dude. Just then, I was blasted back by a powerful beam, sending me flying into the air.
You think that little trick would work on me? I will not lose to some stupid mobs!
On day 100, I was finally face to face with the modded player leader as he charged up another powerful attack. I flew around his beam and started to fight back with all the abilities I'd gained along the way. I was clearly much stronger now and knew I had to do everything in my power to take him down, but he was just as determined to stop me.
This ends now!
Yeah!
You stupid mobs are just little monsters to fight for our entertainment. Nothing more, nothing less.
You're wrong. I had a home, a brother that you killed. I won't let you get away with this. He charged up another attack, but suddenly the ground below him began to crack as he fell inside.
Finish it!
I flew up directly above the hole and began to fire down slash after slash into him.
No! Wait! My mech!
In a large explosion, the leader's mech was destroyed, causing him to fall out into the open.
I don't understand. Our bots were better, stronger than you could ever be.
Looks like all your hard work was for nothing then. I slashed into the player one more time, finally taking him down for good. And with all the other players defeated in the world, us dwellers could now finally live in peace.